Hello, friends. We have not died. We have just entered a new year. The year is 2022, and I am your dungeon master. Welcome to Here Be Dragons. You know, 2020, 2021, 2022, they're all a mess, so let's just roll some dice and have some fun. Uh, yeah, it's been a little while. We did some Funapalooza one-shots. Well, a one-shot that turned into a two-shot. If you missed that, I believe those are up on our Twitch. The one-shot was a Festivus holiday theme, followed by a birthday Fairy Princess Land theme. It was good times. Those are up on Twitch. They are not on uh, our podcasts because our podcasts are just of the main seasons. So as a little note, go back to our Twitch. We did have a few between season things happening, I think between season 2 and 3. We met Glenn and Sarah on a holiday episode a couple years back. So that's on Twitch, but not on our podcasts. So do take a look if you've got some spare time or the drive to see more things that we've done. As always, we don't have our commercials playing for our sponsors, but you can take a look at the left side of your screen and in chat, also below our video on Twitch. Take a look at our sponsors. There's a lot of great things going on with each and every one of them. And say hi if you pop into an email or one of their socials. They know who we are. We know who they are. We have a good following for each of them. Hopefully, if you all ordered stuff from Critical Treasures, you've gotten it. I know there was a lot of fun shipping for the holidays. If not, you're gonna have like Christmas in February because why not? We're gonna dive back into the game here in just a second, but I'm gonna recap what had happened. I'm gonna bring the players up so that way if they have anything they want to say, they can. Hi players, good to see your faces.
Hello.
Oh man, hello. So we're diving in, and as a recap, this party met during the Festival of Lights in the city of Crystal Keep. They were brought together by a kobold named Electrum and his goblin friends Lock, Stock, and Barrel. Now, they were brought together for a purpose, and that was to do a couple small heisty tasks for one big payout in the end. And as time had passed and the D&D world, as it does, got a little zany, you know, big bad evil shows up when you're just trying to have your Sunday afternoon tea, and things went south. So the party ended up rescuing a man from, stuck in another plane, a pillow fort plane, essentially, who claimed to be part of the kingdom of Crystal Keep, a brother or a potential heir to the throne. The king had said some things in a different tongue, and a booming voice across one of the evening events had warned of the children coming to attack, or the children arising. Now, Electrum finally made his plan clear that the party wasn't actually there for a big heist. Instead, they were there to potentially save the city and the country. Now, we don't know how Electrum came about this information, but there's been a small band of thieves in the area that call themselves the Underfoot. A bunch of the smaller races using their size to pull off heists and to steal things, and Electrum, having been part of that, as the party had recently found out, potentially gained his information from there. So, as the party was sent into the abandoned mines that were reopened for this Festival of Lights, they made their way down on a perilous trip on a minecart that came loose and rolled down and smashed at the bottom of the mines. Now, sneaking down to the bottom of the mines and making zero sound in all of that, the party was not noticed. Zero sound smashing a cart. Yeah, right. But as the party decided to follow a glow down one of the hallways, they had eventually made themselves to a gemstone that they were able to glimpse the past and see, or hear at least, a bit of what could be happening in the present. Upwards of 300 beings, creatures, souls, we're not quite sure, were in a slumber for 100 years before they would emerge and attack the countryside. An accord struck with a local farmer and his bloodline uh, allowed this farmer to become the new rulers with this big bad evil, and that bloodline had an heir that would wake the children and cause doom and destruction. Now, having somewhat prevented some doom and destruction, Corrigan, traveling back into the past as they'd realized, had stuck this gem into the wall and covered it back up, and now, what seems to be about 100 years after the plan had started, voices were coming down the hallway to the party in present time. The gemstone that they had followed with a blue glow, hidden out of sight, only Corrigan knowing where it's at, and the silence and darkness settling in this dusty old room. The table that was once broken in the middle of the room is now burnt to a crisp as part of Corrigan's shenanigans. So there's a bit of a change, but as the party is standing in the room hearing voices coming down the hall, sounds roughly like 3 to 4 large metal-clad bipedal creatures. You're not quite sure if it's orc, human, elf, whatever. You hear voices echoing and metallic armor clanging as they were walking into the room or down the hall to the room. The party did sneak to the back and into a side room, which seems to be a dead end. So the only way out is past the incoming group. Party hiding away in that back room. And some stuff I glossed over. Fizz having a map that she had seen in the past and drawn. You've got some information, and there's also a missing item to most of you that was there moments ago. What are you doing, thinking, or planning as you're kind of stuck?
Where did it go? Hold on, I have to check my notes. I had a plan, and I think I wrote it down.
As a reminder to how it happened, as Corey's looking up his plan or their plan that they had wrote down in the past or something, the sticky note that Corey keeps along with him. Corey had changed into, I believe, a bear and flipped the gem into the wall and ended up like rebuilding the wall in a split second because they were experiencing time at a different rate. Setting fire to the table to make it look like the gem exploded. There was some plan behind hiding that thing. Did I give you enough time? Do I need to sew together any more jokes to talk about?
I don't think I'm going to find it. I know the plan was to hide it and then just let it be there. I don't know if I was going to get it and move it again.
I'm just going to leave it.
But now no one knows where it is now. So they stopped. Because they found it. They know they found it and they dug it up. No one's going to be like, oh, well, we got to keep digging. So that's my process.
All right.
And to be fair, it's a special process. So.
I mean, they're not going to know where it's at. We're good.
I mean, most of the party doesn't even know where it's at.
Yeah.
Right?
Hi. Wait, hold on. Who's Corrigan? It's been a while. It's been a hot minute, guys.
Corrigan Shay.
Corrigan Shay. Yes.
Yeah.
I've removed the impediment. And it's gone. It's gone now. Should cause no more problems.
Okay.
I didn't know you had an impediment to begin with.
I should have taken the kobold to the past and left her there.
Jared says that every day, so it's fine.
So we can quick rewrite. Suddenly a pile of kobold bones shows up. No.
Great. I'm gonna go take a nap.
Well,
I guess we just wait.
Or do we leave?
Do we hide? We
We
can't.
have to go
We
past.
can't
hear
leave.
them. We hear them coming, right? And we have to
Yeah.
go past them to get out.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
seems like they're in the room prior, the room that had a few broken gems on the floor and was quite dusty. That you'd spent a few minutes just kind of getting some freebies while you could prior to this.
Yeah, I forgot
whole
about that
shenanigan.
part.
Yeah.
I forgot about that part.
Well, they're gonna search for the gem, right? If it's missing.
Well, no, but if he moved it in the past, maybe it has never been there, so they wouldn't even be looking for it.
But we remember
Changed.
it was. But we remember it.
Do
was
we
there.
remember it?
You do remember it, but
Oh.
you were at the point of change. So some of you remember it as like
Oh.
you saw that happen in front of you. It is a bit fuzzy about what the gem does to the party outside of Corrigan. You remember that you saw back in time, but you're not quite sure how the gem fully played a part in that.
So my plan
Okay.
may not even work, you're saying, because time is wibbly wobbly. Got it. Well, let's hide. I put my cloak on and pulled over my head.
I crouch in a dark shadow.
As you're all hiding there, the boots get a bit closer, and you hear two voices conversing. Yeah. So last time they made contact with the beacon, the voice had said it was going to be down here on a table, and we'll find it. That's what we need to find. Yeah, but who is this voice, and how do we trust that we can get to whatever this is? And what is it supposed to look like? He said a blue glowing gem, something like that. I'm not noticing any glow in this room, and this table's all burnt up. Well, maybe it's further in the back, that dusty corner of a room. I need all of you to roll stealth if you're trying to hide, at advantage because you're already kind of hidden away.
Is there a rock laying around?
There's small pebbles and stones, yeah.
I am gonna. Can I take one and I'm gonna imbue it with like light so that maybe it looks kind of like the other one.
Oh, it looks like you're gonna try and imbue it with like a blue glow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the light, I guess, has a 5-foot radius or whatever.
18.
18. Eljoy, Lily, Fizz, on your advantage stealth.
21.
Glenn, what did you say over there?
16.
16?
20
21. Well, all of you stay hidden. There isn't any notice of you. They're not actively searching for something. They just kind of peek in the room, and the perception roll was low enough that they don't notice the four of you hiding there. It's dusty, and the room that you're in seems to be kind of a spot where it's a bit more refuse. Some wood pieces, a bit of stone had been thrown in there. It looked like there was a project going on, and they just abandoned it all of a sudden. And as you notice that, and the group notices, the two voices converse again. I told you not to trust them. It's just a voice in a stone. And who's to say that we're gonna find this magical power down here? And then down the hall you hear, we've got the metal net. Are we ready to carry the thing up? No, it's not down here. We must check one of the other rooms. I guess directions were confused. And the voices start like muttering and mumbling, and they walk off, and you hear them walk
so they
out
didn't find
of.
my rock?
They had turned around pretty quickly as you were scrambling to get your stone up. Also, I gave you a little bit of leeway because if you were to light that thing in the room, they would have come in after you. So I let you have it for a moment. I'll just pay it back later. But so the voices and the footsteps walk back out, and you hear that they get somewhere into the large first room, or even further into like the lower caverns that you had initially entered in. And things go a little bit quiet. You hear some distant footsteps walking away-ish as they are getting quieter.
Do you
Okay.
recognize any of those voices?
If you want to roll history on any of that, you may.
Yeah.
Oh, but I replicated the stone for them.
And it's now starting to glow blue in your hand.
23.
23, all right. Eljor, did you have a roll on there or no?
It's
All
like
right.
6.
6. You recognize that they're voices. Well done. Lily, one of the voices sounds a little familiar. You can't
Okay.
quite place it. You feel like you might have heard it at the party. But when you were at the party, you're rushing about serving food, so you heard a lot of voices that night. It did have a similar tonality to potentially one of the groups in a couple of the corners that were doing business meetings, is what you believe it to be. But there isn't like one
Okay.
certain person that you can point it to be.
Okay.
What are we doing, party?
I think we should try to leave.
Should I leave this
Oh,
here?
Jared.
Hello?
Leave which
No.
part there?
I made a rock that looks like it's glowing.
Oh,
blue.
She's
right.
got a glowing rock now.
I
in her
already
hand.
forgot about it.
How long will the fake
Yeah.
rock glow?
Huh?
Leave it there.
How long will the fake one glow?
Forever, sort of. Sort of.
Sort of
Until
bothers me as a modifier. I'll be honest.
Well, I did I'm trying to think. I did the thing with the thing in the hall where it's still making noise, and then I did this, so I can do this to like 2 more things, and then if I do it to something else, then it'll stop. But it's gonna do it until yeah. So sort of forever. But not forever?
that's why we don't give
Honestly,
kobolds
it makes
tools.
sense.
I mean, I like the idea of having a decoy. That could be beneficial. But we do have
Just
to
keep
get
it in
out
your
of this
pocket.
mine.
Okay.
Isn't there supposed to be some like children down here?
Wait, why are children playing in a mine? That sounds unsafe.
Like the deep, dark, scary, like those sort of children.
Oh, yes.
Did we
Those
have this
children.
argument last time? Seems like we've tread.
It's like
this
it's been a
path.
full month or something.
Yes, it's been a while.
Why?
I believe you did get some information when going and looking at the bookstore or the bookseller down the road. That the children were people in this occult that had been like brought up to a higher tier, and then nothing was said of them after that. So, people with magical demonic powers and such.
Wait.
I'm waiting.
Glowing talking orb. Do you still have that talking thing in your bag?
I mean, unless it left, yeah.
Do you think
This
he's the one they're talking about?
the stone with the eye in it.
Yeah.
Well, weren't they looking for the one on the table?
Yeah, but they talked about something else. You know what I mean? The thing they described sounded eerily similar to the thing that you have in your bag right now.
I jump in the bag and I show the thing the little rock I just made, and I go, "Are you the thing that the people are looking for?"
The eye turns and looks at you, and you hear a little bit of a quite a trick on that rock, but it's glowing a different color than I've seen, so I'll oblige. Well, which people are looking for which thing? Because plenty of people are looking for things, such as one had lost their key, another had lost their sock.
Well, the people that just came down in the mine, I'm sure you heard them too. And they were looking something about a stone with a voice that told them to look for something else. Are they looking?
Show me this mine.
And I pulled it up out of the bag.
So out of the bag that Fizz had dove into, you see a stone about the size of a human head, a faint bluish color with a large eyeball in it, and it's rotating freely. And you see Fizz's little claws holding this thing out of the bag, and it's got an active connection to Fizz. So Fizz is hearing the talk back and forth, and Fizz, as you pop the eye out, the rest of the group, if you look at it, you notice that the eyes focus gets really big, and it like takes in the room and rotates around very quickly. Fizz, you hear, "What are you doing in this place?"
I don't know. We took a mine cart down, and then there was a stone, and now the stone's not there, and it was blue or something like that. And
A bright blue glow.
kind of like this, but not really, I guess.
And did you touch it?
I don't know. I don't remember.
And as he's got a connection into your mind and speaking to you, Fizz, you feel almost like a poking and prodding in the back of your head, as if something is like poking under the skin just a little bit. And then you hear, "You don't remember. Well, it seems something has changed the timeline. And if it's not changed drastically enough, there will be war on our hands in a few days."
Because there's gonna be war, but are they looking for you too, or just?
I was part of a large stone, the central piece. And as they broke apart my stone, there was a magic bit here and there that evil groups had harnessed.
So that stone was part of you?
At one point, yes.
Okay, I'll let the others know.
So as you pull the stone back in with the eye, you see the eye kind of just like rotate down as if it's going into some form of thought.
And I kind of like rub the stone.
You just pat the stone. And then Fizz, as you climb out of the bag, the rest of the party didn't hear any of what was being said, but saw the eye kind of moving about as if it was taking in the room and almost in a moment of discussion. Fizz,
Yeah.
you
I'm
want to
just-
say anything? You stepped
Yeah,
out of the bag and they're all staring at you.
Yeah, I'm just staring back.
Did you talk to it?
Oh, yeah. He was quite helpful, actually. He said something about
Okay.
time has changed, but if it changed too much, if it changed not enough, there's gonna be war. And oh, that blue stone used to be part of the eye, which was part of a bigger stone or something like that, and then there was something evil.
That's a lot. I thought we came down here to help avoid the war. Am I wrong in thinking that?
I don't think there was a war on the table before just now. What war?
I thought we came down here just to get information.
I thought we came down here because we wanted to ride the minecart.
Valid.
That was definitely a perk.
We did it. It's one of
Okay,
four
let's-
accomplished. We're starting strong.
But
We were looking for information about the children, and then there was something, and y'all, you know, the Irish y'all,
Yo.
going to fight the king or something. because the king's not the king, both by line and there's a demon inside there. I think we worked out. But we're in a cave.
My brain still feels
What?
funny.
So, should we get out of here?
What if we follow those people trying to get the stone? That at least
That-
takes
I
us
like that.
somewhere. We
Yes.
know who's looking for what.
What they were looking for. Just need to make sure he doesn't get the stone. Wherever you
yes.
put
Yeah, the
it,
stone's gone. It's hidden away.
Well, he did
Only-
ask me.
in a safe
really-
place.
Simon asked me a weird question, and I couldn't remember the answer. And then he poked my brain, and
He poked
still
your
don't-
brain?
I don't know. It felt weird. There was like pokes in my brain.
I don't like the sound of that.
He asked if I touched the stone, and I said I couldn't remember. So he poked my brain, and then he said, you don't remember. I was like, duh, I just told you I don't remember.
He doesn't trust you very much.
Apparently not.
Hmm.
But apparently the color of my rock is pretty cool.
Yeah, considering he talked to you for just a shiny rock. Maybe you two are becoming friends.
Maybe. I've never heard him talk that much. I'd like a friend rock. That'd be nice. He
Friend
could
rock.
tell me all sorts of stuff.
Yeah,
Maybe you can make it your pet.
just
Well-
don't tell him that.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yikes.
Rock? Never heard of that.
So I shouldn't tell Glenn that he's my pet, not my friend? What? Pet friend.
Pet cemetery. What?
What's that?
Phoenix?
I follow the guys looking for the rock.
You follow the guys looking for the
I-
rock.
Also do that.
Yeah, once again, our group does not have an intelligence person.
Maybe they'll
No,
like
we
this
do
one
not.
instead. And I go running after them.
Funny thing
I-
is, I'm sort of intelligent, but like not in like these sort of ways.
Well, I'm supposed to be very intelligent, but not in these sort of ways.
There you go. You're just like, I want to tinker
Very
with
neat tree.
things. Yeah.
Right?
Now, as you're all running down, well, as Fizz is running down the hall and you're all walking back out, or flying if you're Corrigan, and you get to the main area where the cart had smashed, you hear the voices across the chasm. So there's a bit of a chasm in the pit that, as you smash the cart down, the hallways that you went down were straight ahead from the line that you were just on for the cart. But if you were to go to your right, there's a bridge across a chasm, and it looks like there's some more rooms down on that side. And you hear the voices on the other side of this bridge, and they seem all sorts of confused. And you hear a couple shouts, "I checked this room already." "Well, check that one. I'm not seeing any tables or any blue glows." And there's just a bit of chaos, and you hear a few smashes of old wooden tables or chairs or cupboards or whatnot, as it seems like they're just kind of ransacking the place to figure out where this gem they were looking for had ended up. You cross the chasm? Do you go back up the circular path that leads you to the top of the mine? Or do
We do
you
have
just hang
path
out?
out right now if we wanted to.
Yeah, you do. You could follow the walk path up, but it would take you most likely about 10 minutes of walking because it's a spiral path up to the top, and your minecart is in smithereens.
Can you drive a minecart backwards?
Magically, you could find a way. Magic finds a way.
But not when it's blown to smithereens.
No.
What are smithereens?
I
Small pieces of
don't
smithers.
know.
Yes. Little smithers.
What are smithers?
There's splinters.
Things.
Real story is that's how you actually get a smith. A bunch of smithereens to get together, and then they make a smith.
Oh man. Oh man.
Yep. Broken. We did it. I
Our work here is
say.
done. Good night.
I say. Well, we're left with two choices. They can either GTFO up right on up after a long walk, or we can go the other way. I'm indifferent. I could turn into a
We
bug.
need information.
Whatever.
I mean, we do need information, and I don't really think we've gotten much yet.
You think they would trade information for this pretty blue stone?
It's worth a try.
Here's the
I
question.
mean, we could always pretend to be like we're with them.
And
Here's
I
the question I have.
found it in that room.
What information are we after? We don't even know.
Who's going to war,
Can't
by
sit
the
up.
way?
I don't know. You were the one that
Nami.
talked to him.
I don't know.
Where's our friend that we rescued from the pit? Or the dimension.
Oh, the dimension?
Yeah,
The
where's
little
that
dragon?
guy?
He is
No.
back at our
Oh.
shop, resting.
I
Dragon?
feel like
Dragon?
he might have
A lot of stuff, dragon.
not that friend. I
Oh.
mean
The human friend.
The brother, the king of the brother of the king is not really the king. So I guess the
Right.
brother's the actual king,
Mm.
but he was stuck in the tent. But we got him out. Remember? There was a whole thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
Maybe
It was
we go
like
have a
8
talk
hours
with him.
ago.
Yeah, we put him in a bag.
sure.
I know. I had to do all the work.
Yeah, you put half his body
You
in a
cut him
bag, and
up
it was
Lots
very
of
scary.
pieces.
Yeah.
It's carrying torsos
He-
around.
But I
He is-
killed him.
He's at our home base.
At our house,
Could
right?
go have a talk with him.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he'd probably have the most idea of what we're supposed to do.
I mean, I
We
feel
found
like
this
that
rock
guy
down
doesn't
here.
know
Maybe.
nothing. That guy's been living somewhere else for a long time, though.
Yeah, he
I
may
mean,
not
he's the only one
remember.
with any connection to the royal line.
To be
He
fair,
may
I've
know
lived
whom
somewhere else.
Could
too,
possibly
so-
be in contact. Same. I'm not from here.
Like, to be honest, just between, and I imagine we're walking during this.
Are you walking up then?
Yeah, I believe so. Unless
Okay, so you're
someone
walking the
again-
We
spiral
would have gotten
path
a
up.
safe distance away once we decided to go. Once we were a safe distance away, we talk in hushed voices, but for the purposes of stream, we keep our voices loud and clear so that our
Perfect.
audience can understand us.
I don't know how to talk in a hushed voice, though, so.
I think between the lot of us, I think we're trying to solve a problem, but we're not clear what the problem is we're trying to solve.
Hmm.
As you're
Valid.
continuing your walk up, you hear some noise down in the pit, and you see from a distance you're seemingly about halfway up. You've got another 50 to 80 feet to climb, and you're about 50 or so feet over the level where the bridge is at. And you hear a shout, and it's kind of faint. It echoes in such a way that you believe you hear, "Hey, hey, what's that?" And you see a few of the people down about 50 or so feet come out into the open, and they look up at you. And you're far enough away that hushed tones aren't heard, but voices echo through the chamber. And you can see in the dim light that they all look to be in leather armor with some metal plating on top, on like shoulders and shins, and a piece across their chest. So very like light add-ons to a very dark leather armor. There's
So what are
four.
the people, the guy that came into our room?
From this distance, you would probably be able to say maybe it's similar. You don't see too many dark leather clad folks And you did see a squad of 4 dark leather-clad folks before throughout town, but they weren't wearing any metal attachments. Today, if it's the same group, they are. But they see you and they see a blue glow of a stone in Fizz's hand, and you see 2 of them rush off to the slope that would lead up to you. It'll take them about 30 or 40 seconds run to get up to you, because it's a wide looping chasm to slowly walk up. And you hear them starting to hustle up, and the one who seemingly shouted is standing there with a torch in hand and continuing to shout things. But over the footsteps and stomping and other hustle, you can only hear the words "stop right there" and some other commands that are being shouted.
But they
Up, up,
definitely
up.
don't look like city guard, right?
No, they don't look like city guard. They look a little bit
What do they look
more
like?
Eldor, especially to you with a little bit of understanding of weaponry and fighting. You'd see them as potentially um, clad in such a way that they could move quickly, and they have armor in specific spots to protect like their dominant arm and like their chest. So they're definitely ready for quick, fast action type fighting
Oh,
if they interact with you.
okay.
So you would notice that being a rogue and having some of that nature yourself, that it's like
Yeah.
they're ready for fast action, not like heavy full on battle. And the town guard all seem to be a bit more like fully clad, ready to go to war if need be,
Yeah.
standing stoic type things.
So we need to get out.
I mean, I thought
Actually,
that's
do
where
we see
were going.
a number? How many are there?
It looks like you still see one at the bottom, about 50 to 80 feet down. Because the chasm is wide, they're actually probably about 80 or 90 feet at an angle to you. So, and you see 2 rushing up. You see them on the other side, running up the looping that you've been walking up. And they're hustling. You see that you've got a little bit of time if you need to do anything. But because of the way it is, the chasm is built on such like a funnel shape, and the path just continues to rotate out and up. So you're basically mildly visible the entire way unless you hug a wall. The 1 guard stays at the bottom, 2 are running up, and you're not quite sure where the 4th one is at.
I'm just gonna say, hug the wall. Let's go.
All
I'll
right.
try and usher everyone forward.
You said hug the wall.
Hug the wall and let's go.
Like actually hug the wall. Stay
So
close to the wall.
So I end up going like this on the wall, and then I'm like
Turning and putting
shuffling
your
up
face
the-
against the wall. Fizz, that slows you down. You're about 10 or 15 feet behind the group as they're hustling along.
He told me
Can
to
I just
hug
fly
the
up?
wall.
Yeah.
No. And when I see her do that, I give her a light grab with mage hand to just like lift her hand up and be like to guide her forward. Just stay close to the wall. Let's go.
And starts hustling. Yeah, Corey, you've got wings. You can just fly right on out of here if you want to bail.
Is this the
Yeah, I want to hover, or I want to fly, but in the middle of this funnel, so like away from
alright.
the walls, but able to take in all the
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, so you got a very good view. You see your party kind of on the outside of the wall, hustling in a slightly crouched down manner. The other 2 rushing up and over from the main. I'm getting a dog over here. The other 2 rushing up through like the main path behind, not hugging the wall, not trying to hide in any way, shape, or form. And they're slowly gaining on your party there, Corrigan. You think that your party only has to about 3/4 of the way up before they'll get caught, unless something drastic were to happen to help them out.
How wide is the walkway?
The walkway is about 6 or 8 feet wide. Generally 6. There's a few spots that are like outcropped a little bit that seemed to be either some harder stone or marble that was hit that caused a little bit more trouble carving the clean funnel shape. The walls aren't loose stone, but they seem with enough firepower that you might be able to do some damage if you wanted to cause a little bit of a slide. The steepness from level to level, each level is about 8 or 9 feet below the previous. So you have to take, I think, like 15 full laps from the bottom to the top to get all the way out. So it's a fairly steep drop to each one. It's
Can I?
quite chaotic here. Oh no.
What if? What if I were to summon a baby elephant on the path behind us and just send it down the funnel, like running down the path? They couldn't get past it because it's a baby elephant,
Yeah, I mean,
and
I do like
trunk is wild, so it's probably gonna slap some dudes.
I do like that Glenn had muted, but we still heard him laughing in the background of Sarah's mic, which was
I
incredible.
was sniffling. Oh, you still heard it on Sarah's?
We still
Dang it.
heard you laughing.
Checked you out.
So it means that it
Ugh.
was a very good idea if we can hear Glenn projecting to someone else's mic. When we hear it on Jared's mic, then we know it was a great idea.
Close your door.
So yeah, you could try that. I'm not stopping you. I'll dictate what happens on the other side.
Yeah. Let's summon the beast, a baby elephant, an adolescent elephant.
An adolescent
What's
elephant.
his name?
What's his name? What have you named this?
Trumpet.
Trumpet the elephant. As he appears, and his little trunk is flailing everywhere, and his tail's going, and he's excited and starts rushing down this pathway as if Corey had told the elephant that there's food at the bottom and playthings for him to go enjoy and be quite the child down there. So this little elephant's just rushing through and just stomping ahead. And as he sees the two guards rushing up at him, the elephant slows for a brief moment and looks around as if there's nowhere else to go, and then just starts charging forward head on to these guys. And as he does, the outer one failed the dexterity save and gets hit by the trunk and knocked off of the side and just shoved
Falling.
because there isn't enough space. And the man goes bouncing off of one of the platforms below, and then ends up not able to gain his footing before he slides into the abyss where the bridge was crossing over. And you hear the tumble and clash and clang when the metal on his armor hits a couple times, and then there's almost an eerie silence for about 5 seconds, and then you hear a thud as however deep the abyss is, that man splattered in it. He's gone. The baby elephant keeps running down and ends up getting down to the bottom level and looks around, and you hear him trumpet a few times and make a loud raucous as he's just like trying to figure out what is down at the bottom of this platform here. The other guard gets shoved into the wall and takes a moment to regain his footing, so the party gets a little bit more space to escape. Corrigan, you believe at this point that your party should be able to make it to the top before the one guard chasing them makes it to them, or the one armored fellow makes their way up there. You still don't have sight of the fourth one. The third one is on the bridge, and you saw him look over and watch as the one who had got toppled off fell to his doom, and then he looks back up and starts shouting profanities in multiple languages. You hear Orcish, you hear Elven cursing your mother, you even hear some strange form of Draconic that seemed almost like an anger battle cry. So whoever this person is, he's at least been to war or been alongside multiples. That the Draconic, if that's one of your languages, yeah, you would have known it to be very not dirty isn't bad, but like a dirty rendition of a couple swear words that like you might have heard from a military member or some sort.
Sorry, I had my microphone off when I asked that, so
Yeah,
people
so
know I had asked if I
yeah.
knew what he was saying because I speak Draconic.
So our little kobold asked if she understood, but yeah, it was swears of all sorts of languages. This man is well pissed off, and he knows how to say it in quite a few languages. So yeah, you've got one approaching from the rear that the rest of you don't know exactly when they'll catch up, but you feel like they'll still catch up to you at some point. Corey believes you'll make it to the top. One is missing, and the potty mouth is standing on the bridge, just staring at you all.
I'm literally just picturing that guy on the bridge going home at night. She's like, what's wrong, honey? Frank's dead. What happened? It was in the mine. Yeah, elephant. Like
An elephant out of nowhere.
elephant in the mine. I don't know what happened. But I suggest we vamoose. Party people.
Party people.
Yeah, let's do
if we
it.
can't speak with the
Did Lily just go like New Yorker there? Let's do it. I'm walking here.
Only a little bit.
Yay!
Just Lily pushes forward and just like struts her way up there like I'm walking here.
Forget about it. Yeah, every New Yorker in the world wants to kill us now. Cool.
No, I know they do. You can send your death threats and letters to the PO Box 1234 in the state of insanity. That's where we
Forget
live.
about it. That's the name of the state.
Oh no. Forget about it's the name of the state. Okay, so and Scald's Tale instantly goes on lurk as they're looking up all of our addresses to send
Let
hate
the
mail
record
to. No, just
show
kidding.
that I did not do a New York impersonation.
Lindsay's
Right
like,
at this point, they got swatted, all of them, at the same time.
but Lindsay somehow is okay, and she's only 4 feet away from the dungeon master.
Social distancing
I think we just push it.
saves
Just
lives.
get out of here. We accidentally killed someone with baby elephant. Like
Bail. All right, so you all keep running up, and as you get up to the main level, and you see the entrance just up ahead, magical glowing lights are kind of hanging on the walls that you recall, and this feels a bit more like a museum. There's, again, as a reminder, plaques and various other things talking about the mine's history, and there's a few small glass cases that were showing off some gems and tools. Nothing of any high value, especially now that you've seen some larger gem pieces. These ones look tiny in comparison. But you get up to this point and you hear the footsteps rush up behind you of this one guard that had been chasing the whole way up. And slightly out of breath, you hear, "Stop! What are you doing? What's that in your hand?" And he's pointing at Fizz that's got the glowing blue stone in her hand.
Boeing glue.
Oh, man. That's a spoonerism there.
That's because he's
glowing
been hanging
glue.
out with me too much.
Spoonerisms are so much fun. And I actually did that in a meeting the other day, and everyone's like, yeah, cool. Glowing blue. Glowing glue.
They say, "What's that?" And I'm like,
Yeah, at the
Is that what the
glowing
kids
glue.
are doing now? They're blowing glue.
They're blowing glue. They're not huffing it. They're just blowing it, just to make sure their art projects are dry and hang well on the
Sparkles
fridge.
just
So the
everywhere.
glowing, glowing, blue, blue. Okay, glowing blue object in Fizz's hand, and that's probably clipped to all sorts of fun now. So have fun clipping, have fun sharing. It is what it is.
so you just yell, "What's that?"
What's that in your hand? And he points at the glowing blue stone.
I look at my other hand. I go, I don't have anything in.
The man looks at the hand that you're not showing.
Yeah. Well,
And
I mean, I didn't hide it. So.
well, the one that you're not like putting up, and he goes, "That stone. Where did you get that?"
This one?
Yes, precisely, the stone in hand.
I made it.
And he starts walking forward, a hand on a blade at his side, and just kind of grimaces and looks at you square in the eye. Hand it over. That doesn't belong to you.
Bro, she pulled it out of her pocket.
I made it. But if you really want it, I guess like I'll take it as a compliment. Like, there you go.
You just hand it over to him.
Yeah.
I was half
Sorry about
expecting
that
you just like
incident with the elephant. We barely avoided getting run over by that elephant. We tried to say something, but running.
Yeah, how
Why-
did that guy get in here?
That elephant? What the heck?
I've seen
That
an
was
elephant
weird.
around here for a long time. It was weird. Yeah.
But what were you running from?
You started yelling at us.
You
from
started
the bottom of
chasing
a
us,
dark
so we
hole.
started running.
If
What
you
would
were
you do if you were in creepy mines and someone started screaming at you from below? And then
Well-
an elephant appeared running down the stairs.
if you weren't causing any harm, why did you run?
Because you started chasing us.
You scared at us you screamed at us from a dark hole. Let's play a
Man-
game. You go in a dark, scary cave. We'll hide somewhere, and then if we scare you and you don't react at all, then you'll be right.
Then you'll be right.
Huh?
The man looks across the group and shakes his head and kind of backs away and gives you a grimace, a look almost as if he's watching you. And then he turns and hustles back down the pathway.
Enjoy
and,
your stone. Tell your friends.
and as you're yelling behind him, he's actually yelling out, "I think I have it! I think I have it!" And you hear echoing and you hear a bunch of footsteps as if like the group of them is coming back together.
We should go.
Oh.
We should go.
You should go.
Go. Yeah.
Why did we stop? Let's go. Keep going.
You rush out the front of this mine, and it's quite dark outside as you'd gone in the early evening, and it is now into about the 9 or so p.m. time frame. There's lights glowing everywhere on homes. There's fewer people out than the last handful of nights, but there's still quite a few people kind of walking throughout the town. You hear laughter and giggles, but you also see a lot more presence of town guard as you make your way back into the main area of town. You can go back behind the inn to Lock, Stock, and Barrels if you wish. You can go back to your little sewing palace where you've got your potential king friend. You've got a lot of options. You could leave here, get on a boat, and never come back. Party, what do you want to do?
We should go back to our place.
To your
Our
place,
house.
the
Yeah.
house
In the
above.
middle of our street.
Oh man, the
Yeah.
the little
The
house.
compound.
Yeah, the compound.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the right word.
Okay, that works. We'll go with it.
EOA. EO. Oh. Base of operations.
Boo. So as you head back there, the streets, like I said, have some party goers moving about, but because your base is on a quieter, older part of the town, all you see in some of the windows are some glowing stones that look as if they were handcrafted. A few of them have some chips in them, as if they're old pieces commemorating the first Festival of Lights. But they're glowing bright colors, and
Do any of them catch my attention as being similar to the first one we saw?
the first one being the one in the mine.
Yeah.
No, all of you, as you notice, these seem to be very like magical effect, like
Like
for
the
the
one I made.
party, putting out party lights type things or holiday lights. Um, so it's a bit more playful than like a stone that's emitting a ominous blue glow. Um, so some of them actually seem that they could be a very solid stone with just a glow on the outside to make them look like some of the gems. But it's still lighting up this pathway to your door, and your home slash shop is the only building on this little street that doesn't have lights going on in the windows. But there's a faint candlelight glow coming from the upper window where your friend is enjoying his time or at least hanging out. Uh, you're free to enter if you wish, or converse outside before you go in, or kick a bypasser. I don't know. What do you want to do, party?
I just want to go in.
Yeah.
But we gotta talk to the guy, right? We gotta figure out what we're doing.
He's in the
All
hospital,
right.
isn't he?
Yeah, he'd only,
Uh,
as far as you understand, he stopped outside to get a little bit of food and then came right back
so
earlier.
just yeah, go in the house, I guess.
And as you make your way through the shop and upstairs, he's sitting on the floor with one candle burning. There's a bunch of papers he's got strewn about on the floor. A book binding lay nearby, as if these are sheets from a book. And he seems to be like lost in trying to figure some things out. You do recognize the binding as one of the books that had some information from the little bookstore down the road about the occult and some of the things that had happened about 100 years ago. He doesn't look up at you though. He's deep in thought, kind of a few papers in hand and moving some stuff on the floor.
What you
Um,
doing?
Oh, hey, I am sorry. I was just studying these things. They're haunting.
Did we miss anything while we were out?
Well, there was a scuffle in the streets. Two small children were fighting over what seemed to be a toy or something, and then their mother yelled at them, and then it was quiet for a few hours. There was a seller that came by that wanted to sell, oh, I don't know, some fruits and party favors for this evening. But they, as soon as I opened the door,
Yeah, what's going on tonight?
well, what is tonight? Is it the third or fourth? Or what night is it in the festival?
I don't know. We got
Third,
here and it was like
maybe?
the firework night or something.
Oh, the firework night. Oh, well, if we're after the fireworks, then traditionally, one of the local schools puts on a production in the town
Oh.
square, and there's some musicians. It might be just more of a casual evening where there's food served to some of the locals to get you to try the local shops. That is, if they haven't changed in the last 12 years or so.
Alright.
Anything that you've found? What were you all off to do today?
Yeah, we just went for a walk.
Just,
His mines.
And then I made a stone and some guy almost beat me up for it. But, you know.
All part of a day's work.
it sounds
Soul into
thrilling.
the
And
past.
wait, what? You went into the past?
Oh, reading books, you know. It's like
Oh,
looking into the
oh.
past.
Oh.
Wait, are
Okay.
we going to ask him about that war that's going to happen? Or are we not going to ask about that?
Oh yeah.
War? What is this war you speak of?
I don't know.
We thought maybe
We
you
just wondered
would.
maybe you'll give any knowledge about enemies of the kingdom.
Or maybe a bunch of weirdos fighting over a rock?
A blue
Um,
glowing rock.
And who spoke of this war? And he starts tearing through some of the papers a bit.
I mean, that's kind of not.
I describe the
important.
armor as much as I can.
Okay. You describe the armor, and
And the
Fizz
languages
says,
that guy used.
"Oh yeah." You hear the man snicker a couple times because he must understand or kind of know that there was some vulgarity in the some of the words that you repeat without full understanding uh, of what they were. Otherwise, he looks at Fizz. Um, what do you mean it matters not about where you heard about war?
Well, I mean, like, the where, like, we were just around, and the who, it's more of like a what. You can just say we heard from a friend. It's complicated. I'm tired. I don't want to get into it, but it's a whole thing.
Well, if there's war in the kingdom, you should alert someone about it. But
We're alerting you, Mr. Whoever you are.
all right, so you expect me, who has no pull in the kingdom, potentially a wanted fugitive because I was brought out of the dungeon in pieces, to be able to go prevent a war?
Aren't you
Well-
technically the king or some weird stuff like that?
You do have the rightful claim.
You need to get your stuff together, man.
Well, I'm attempting to, but war in a stone. And he fiddles through some of the papers and uncovers a
It's
couple.
blue
It's blue. Well,
and it glows.
there's this note here, and he pulls a couple pages out, and it looks like there was some scribbling in a corner of one of the pages that talked about the children that you'd seen in the bookshop just the morning prior, I believe. But you didn't see that marking in the book. And the marking says the stone exploded and caught fire to the room, says eyewitnesses, and a couple notes written next to it. Potential threat eliminated, question mark. And this is the page where it talked about the occult that just disappeared after some time, with vague threats about taking over the world in 100 years, and no one has seen them since.
So there's nothing in there about the children.
Yes, this is the one that talks about the children. I don't think you were there for the book reading there, Corey. I know
I don't
it
read
was,
books.
it was at least Lily and I believe Eljor that went into the bookshop.
I was at home.
Yeah.
And they had seen some stuff about the children and the occult, and these are the pages they would recognize, but there's writing on the pages that wasn't there before. But this writing doesn't seem fresh. It seems like the ink has faded a little bit, as if it was written many, many years ago.
Something here that says
So maybe
everything.
as if the information was written at the time where all of the data was being written out, like we changed history, guys.
Potentially, with
Enough?
Corey's stunt, there is a potential change in history.
Did it change enough?
Now what does it say that's different? Would we be able to recognize what's different?
If you want to roll a history check,
Handwritten.
I sure do.
most
But
of
he
the
said if it's
notation that you see was handwritten additional. Not that the books aren't, like, oh no, history check.
7.
7. You do think you notice that one of the pictures is inverted. So things that were on the left side are on the right side, but you're not quite sure. And as you look at it, you think maybe it was actually flipped the other way, but maybe it's not. Maybe that's the right side. So just like a visual catches your eye when you're trying to think what could be different. But as far as the textual content and other things, you're not quite sure.
Okay.
But he said if it didn't change enough, then there would be war. How do we know if it changed enough?
Who said that if it didn't change enough?
Man, we've already been over this.
Well, whoever your source is, someone had written here that they think this war has been prevented, and he pulls a few pages out, that seem to be some notes about messages left from the occult about rising again in 100 years and using the power of the stones from the mine and taking over at least the countryside, if not the country and the world as a whole. There are some other vague references to owning the mines from deep within and residing within the mines, but they're very cryptic and in other languages that are closer to demonic script than anything else.
Any of it deep?
Any of it deep? Let
speech?
me see if there's
Can you
one
speak fast?
note. There's one note written in that language and dialect, and it does say that within the mines the children will slumber until their 100th rotation around the glowing star. On that 100th rotation, they will arise from the mines with the power of the stone.
Oh. This is important, and I tell everyone what it says.
Yeah.
So if they can't find it, they won't do it? Or what if it's still there and it's just like, they'll do it anyways?
How safe is it, Corrigan?
I mean, I'm the only one that knows where it's at. And people think
Like,
it was
if I looked
destroyed.
really hard, would I be able to find it?
I mean,
But
there's
the
some
book
spells
says
that could do it, but they would have to. For those spells to work, you'd have to be familiar with the object in the first place. If you're not familiar with it, you can't do
Eh.
it.
Hey, does somebody have something cool?
Does somebody have something cool?
I mean,
what?
I'm sure we all have something cool, but what are you thinking?
That I can show my friend and ask a question.
Oh. I thought he'd
Well-
seen all of our stuff. Let me take a
my
look.
pressing concern based on that passage is that the people are looking for said stone, and Fizzlepup gave her stone to the guy, so now someone knows that we had a stone and we're down in the
Okay,
cave.
see, they were still looking for it, even though
So
I
we're
was so
probably a
short.
target at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, I like take the paper from whoever has it and I hop into my bag.
The paper that had the handwriting on it?
Yeah.
It was the king or the rightful heir, and he looks stunned as you jump into the bag.
And then I go to the eye and I'm like, hey, buddy, you take a look at this.
As you show the eye looks at it, and you hear in the back of your head is, so history was changed a bit.
Was it enough?
Depends on what enough is that you seek.
Well, you said if it didn't change enough, there'd be war.
If you are seeking the war, then the war may still be at hand.
Or what if I don't want there to be a war?
Then you must prevent that from happening. And that lies within the power of, well, the piece of me that was sheared off.
Wait, I thought that thing was gonna cause the war.
It may if it's still intact. I feel a presence of at least 2 or 3 pieces of myself in this city. I can't tell which is the one that holds the power.
Oh.
Can you tell us where they are? Oh, sorry, I'm probably not down there, am I?
Right now it's just Fizz, and the conversation is in the back of her head.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So you're even if you're there, you don't hear his side.
I'm
of
not
things.
there.
Is there any way to
thought you
know
were in
which
your
one is
thing.
the bad one?
Well,
And I'm assuming you don't know where they are. That they're just
The
here.
bad one is one that allows communication through time.
Got it.
It was a piece of me that I could see the future and the past with.
Got it. So we have to destroy that or something, or give it back to you. Or...
That holds all of the power. You do as you wish. I don't quite know if giving it back to me will prevent a war that you say, but I know an evil force thrives on its energy. And then the eye kind of turns away from you as if he's exhausted from speaking and doesn't answer back to anything.
Well, thanks, bud. That was...
Thanks, bud.
Oh, well, I guess. So then I like cover him with a blanket, and then I leave the bag.
She puts the eye to sleep and just lets him doze off. Night night, friend.
All right, so there's no way to know if it changed enough, and he said the bad one is the one that talks to time, but there's like 3.
What?
Isn't that the one that?
Well, we don't
Boring mess with.
remember, right? Do we remember?
Right?
You remember what?
We remember the stone, but we don't remember.
You remember that there was some the 3 other than Corey remember that there was some glimpse of a memory, but that's about it. And you remember there was a stone at one point and then it was gone.
Oh,
So you're kind of starting to lose a bit of like what you know about this stone. Corey is the only one that still has full memory of the events intact.
and he said evil.
We do remember it had something to do with time.
And he said,
Yeah, vaguely.
Evil eats from the bad one.
It eats it?
Right? Yeah.
That's the physism of all of this information.
Going to eat
Wait
the
a-
stone to gain power. All right.
Wait a second. Wait a second. I have a question. I have a question here. We're all familiar with what has happened.
What did...
But don't we need to find out what else has changed, if anything, around this? It could change the outcome of our actions. And also,
I
I'm
know it's-
concerned.
We gotta find
That-
the bad stone.
Well, I'm concerned that I have a different memory than everyone else, eventually.
Oh.
What?
Because if I actively remember doing the thing and moving it, and it seems you guys vaguely remember aspects of it,
Blurry
I'm
environment.
wondering what of the wider space is my memory versus your memories of what has happened.
All right.
There was
I'm
a
gonna
blue
write something
stone.
down for myself. And I pull a piece of parchment out and just say, "Trust Corrigan." Period.
I'm not
I'm
even
gonna
talking
find
about
it
the
eligible.
stone specifically, but like ramifications outward.
He said the evil is eating of
Mhm.
the stone, and the bad stone has to. Well, he didn't say it had to be destroyed. He just said
Well, like,
it's there, and that evil.
Didn't he say he was part of it? It was part of him, right?
Yeah.
what do you guys know about the king situation?
That he's right here.
That's not the king.
Yeah, but I need you to expand on it so we
Uh,
can check boxes.
to make sure you're all remembering the right things here is what Corrigan's getting at.
There was a king, and then there was the tent, and then there was this other guy who came back, and then we saved him.
Well, there
and
was the
he's
farmer's
apparently
lineage,
part
right?
of the king, but the king isn't the king.
There's the farmer's
Wait,
lineage.
who was the
and- yeah.
family? Who was that family? Maybe we could seek them out.
There was no references to who the family was. All Eljor, Lily, and Fizz can remember is someone had said there was a farmer family that was given the kingdom. Corrigan, you remember that the voices speaking about it seemed to be the ones kind of driving
Maybe it was
whatever this
McDonald.
McDonald. Oh my gosh.
He had a farm.
Mm-hmm.
And then used it to make cheeseburgers.
And he started some sort of house foundation.
He used it to make cheese.
Like for example, am I friends with the current king? In your memories?
Yes.
Yeah, you've like been to his house a bunch and stuff.
Heard him get all weird and loud and stuff, as he does.
And we've discovered that he's got some sort of
Black stuff
demon or
in his
shadow
mouth.
Right, we
nonsense going
remember
on.
this one. Okay. We're over here just repeating memories. I look
To-
over the DM and say, "Hey, we do actually remember
To
this,
the best,
right?"
to the best of all your knowledges, everything links up. And despite Jared believing that I sheared his character off into a different time and space through a portal, because that's what I've done to
It's a
Jared's characters all of the
portal.
time.
Portals.
Partles. You do link up on a lot of the information. But the party outside of Corrigan, when they're thinking about the stones, they do remember that there was a fountain in the center of the main area of town. They had a glowing blue stone on top of it that shot almost like an orb of protection up over the city. That was something of note as they're thinking about these stones.
Wait,
Corrigan
did-
doesn't remember that though.
But like half time out, like this is me,
Half time
not
out.
my character. Like, did we actually go over this and see that before? Because I don't
No.
remember that.
No, this is the DM inserting a memory
Inserting.
based on the
Got it.
times that have changed. So there is a known stone that is similar that's
Wait,
over the fountain.
wait, guys.
Or the
There's-
fountain?
There's another stone. I know where one of the three is.
You said there was a couple around him, right?
Yeah, he said he could feel like three. To the
Maybe he's one.
fountain.
Maybe.
Well,
Yeah.
if that's one of the three, and then you've got one of the three, and I know where the three of the three is, we've
But I
got all the
don't-
three.
But I don't have one
And
of
we're
the
all-
three.
Corrigan, you
do.
do have this
No.
odd feeling. You have this odd feeling,
But that's-
Corrigan, that you haven't seen a fountain in town though when they're shouting about the fountain.
Oh, okay.
I don't have one of the three. I have the guy who told me that he feels there's about three other pieces. So we know.
I know, but he is part of the stone. They took those
I
pieces.
know,
off
but
of
that's
him.
that's why he feels the three. That he said there's about three scattered around.
Although,
Oh,
hey, tell
separate
me
from
about
him.
Why
this-
would he count himself?
I don't know.
Bad at math?
He is part of the whole.
tell me about this fountain.
To the fountain, and I like go
But-
skipping down the stairs.
I don't. There's not a fountain in the town.
You silly cardigan.
I
And
distinctly
I like
remember
go out the
there
door.
is. There's definitely.
The
Yeah. on.
the quote unquote rightful king, Jack, he stands up and looks around. And he goes, "Oh, I remember playing in that fountain as a young lad. It's still there? I swear they were gonna tear it down."
I'm like out the door. So
He goes rushing down the stairs with and then stops a few feet from the door and then kind of looks down. "I probably shouldn't go out there right now.
Yeah,
Just in case anyone recognizes me."
good call.
Put a hood on. Or you could use disguise self. Have you ever used that spell before?
Yes. I
Could make you
we
look
could
like a
cast it.
very handsome gentleman.
because he's not handsome now.
We could do it. We could do this. This could be you.
This could be you.
This could be you on an
He looks-
adventure.
He looks over at the new form that Corrigan takes, and quickly pulls out a small booklet. It looks very much like a spell book. And he gets to one, and you see him kind of tilt his head a bit, and he thinks about it for a moment and mutters a couple words and blinks, and you see his whole body kind of ripple. And instead of just an instant transformation, he's not so good at his spell casting with this, and he transforms into roughly what Corrigan is showing.
On our
Do
screen.
you have a halfling purse? I desperately need it.
And with the
Maidens.
form, a skinny human male, dressed nicely, carrying a satchel, a small satchel at his
Halfling
side,
purse.
a halfling purse apparently.
First.
He throws on a cloak and puts the hood up, and is a bit smaller than his bulky, burly self. And he goes, "All right, I'm following. Let's do this."
Be sure to look out for any books.
Okay, I'll look for books, and well, wouldn't it be unnerving to see two of me? Unless you're going to go
I
like
guess
that, Corrigan. Oh,
Fine.
yes, fine. That whole aside brought to you by Photoshop and OBS overlays.
And Jared
And too
Hoy.
much time.
And too much time. Well, the the man is standing there in his smaller form, with the hood up. Well, I'm ready to go see this fountain, and experience the lights. And he peeks out, and you see like a boyish grin go across his face as he sees the lights throughout the city. And he gets a bit excited to go relive some of his past fun in the Festival of Lights, and steps out into the night air. It's a cool evening, and the passerbys are just enjoying the night. Some of them already have some of the small trinkets that glow and float around themselves, and they're all heading towards the town center for what seems to be one of the school productions and some musical events. And here's where we're going to pause for a few minutes, as the party is going to go check out this fountain, and they're all outside heading towards the city center. We will be back in about 10-ish minutes. So yeah, listen for our theme song, and it'll let you know we're coming back. We'll probably have some random banter for a few minutes. We'll see what Corrigan has up their sleeve very shortly with some other camera overlay. I mean, disguise self, and we'll be back. See you soon.
Hey.
Well, we're back. You can escape your chores. You can escape whatever garbage is on TV right now. And if we're on your TV, well, you can't escape us. So, we're here. We're ready to play some more D&D, roll some dice, and hopefully have some fun. We have doggo presents. If you look at Sarah Kate's screen, we just had a doggo pop on. So
We have one yelling.
We have a guard dog in the background here. We'll
Mine's
get
asleep
her
in the
here.
other room.
Yours
farting.
is asleep in the other room. Oh, hey, so we've got doggos here, and if you're here for them, they're starting to show up. If you're here for games, well, I guess we can get back to it. Yeah. So our party just found out some information that there's multiple gems or I guess parts of gems in the city that are similar to the one that they'd encountered earlier. Most of the party remembered there to be a fountain with a gem hovering above it, except for Corrigan, who seems to have slightly different recollection of time and space. Party, you're all heading towards the gems, or this gem hovering above the fountain in the center of town. It is the evening, and you hear some music playing up ahead, and there's a lot of people scattered about. Like I said, not as many as previous nights, so you're not like within a shoulder-to-shoulder crowd, but there's a few hundred people for sure out in the main area of town. Uh, Voices and chatter to be heard, and also not as lively. Like the excitement has died down a little bit, especially after the booming voice that you all had heard over the show of lights the other night. So, as you approach, there's a large fountain in the center of town, one that's got some space on the lower level that's only a few feet deep that children are actually splashing around and playing in. And in the center, there's a few dolphins and a dragon shape that kind of seem to be twirling together. And a spray of water is coming out of the top, about 15 or so feet up into the air. Above that, about 20 or so feet further, so this is floating about 30 to 40 feet up over the ground, is a large blue gem that's got a beam of light shooting up. And it seems to make almost a sparkle over the town that's a constant glow and sparkle. One that everyone but Corrigan recalls to have been there day and night since they had been in the city. The now disguised heir to the throne, the young man looks up at the fountain. He goes, "Oh, just as I remember. The sparkle and the protection that this gem gives, it's such light to our city." And he's walking alongside the party as they're all walking forward.
Well, if it gives protection, could this be the bad one?
Why
Or
don't
no?
It could be.
this is new.
No, it's been here.
Oh,
All
this
of
was here
this-
from the first day.
Literally,
No, what
all
I'm
of us
telling you,
remember
all of
this.
this is different than it was before.
Pull out the note that says "Trust Core again," and I say, "Okay."
I mean, it might be for the better. That's fine. It might be, you know, plums. I don't know. I don't have a phrase here, but it might be great. But it's different. We had no fountain.
Huh.
We definitely had
mean-
no whatever glowy thing
I mean, all of us remember it, but you don't. So
because I played.
Does
with
that mean that
time,
history
remember?
changed?
We were playing
Yeah.
with time.
there's too many people around. I can't ask our friend. I don't
Never
want
stopped
to.
you.
But I mean, like, I don't want to.
Doesn't he talk to you in your head? Just look in the bag
But I don't want
and
to
think your question at him. You know?
Okay,
No one's gonna think twice.
Can
Think you lost your keys.
It's like you lost your keys jamming your head into your
Okay,
bag.
so
Yeah.
I look around and I
Okay.
quick jump in my bag, and then I like pull the stone kind of up to the edge of the thing, and then I'm like, "Can you see? Can you see the fountain and the stone?" Cardigan says it's not. It wasn't here before, but we all remember it.
As you do that, the voice pops into the back of your head. Another change that I see. That is quite interesting.
Is this the bad one?
This is a piece of me that contained the evil, that prevented whatever source of power from escaping, but that's not the stone that was considered bad.
So we should leave it, or do we take it? They said it's protecting the city.
The voice speaks no further to you.
So I put him back down, put his blanket back on him, and then I climb back. I like
Thanks a
peek
lot.
around and then I quick hop out when I feel like nobody's watching.
As a note, if you aren't watching this on Twitch, go watch Twitch at this point, because Phoenix was attempting to steal the sticks off of the crown that Sarah is wearing, and is just like popping into frame.
It was cute.
He's being adorable and annoying.
He's amazing.
Typical dog.
Typical dog. Yeah. So this is this is new to the eye, and it seems to have told you, Fizz, that it's a part of protection, but it's not the stone that you think you're looking for.
Okay, it's not the bad stone. We're good. But he also said it.
I'm fairly certain that the bad one is the one that Corey hit. So we don't need to look for it. I think Corey already knows where it is.
Yes, I know where I put it, and that's where it stays.
But apparently this did change, by the way.
That's what I said.
But the thing with the bad one is that it's feeding the evil.
Sure, what we're supposed to do about that. If you want to go back down there, find a bunch of guys in a cave, been sleeping for 100 years, that'd actually be kind of easy.
Can't the
Atrophied
eye
muscle.
tell us if it's a bad one?
I think you have to show it stuff though. He only saw that there was like 3 in that one of them, but he couldn't say like where and which one.
Could we show him the thing? The
I-
glowing thing?
Don't bring that out in public. No.
At night? Middle of the night sort of thing?
It glows. It's taken from the castle.
Just trying to think outside the box.
Well, you guys told me to
Make
take
the
the
box
eye
smaller.
out, and it was stolen from the castle, so.
I don't know.
At this point, as you're speaking, music starts to play loud on a small platform towards the city gates. There's 4 or 5 members up there, and it seems to say in a glowing banner above them, Bardic Power. So that must be the name of the group playing.
And
Yeah, it's a band that's playing. Bardic Power. It takes the stage, and you hear sounds like you've never heard before. And to the players, it sounds almost like you're hearing metal music. To the party, you've never heard anything similar. Whatever they're doing
Awesome.
to augment their instruments is both like enthralling and scary all at once. The sounds and the level of volume that's being played, and some of the youngsters are
Vampire.
like screaming and jumping up and down and like throwing their hands up in the air and dancing to this, and some of the older folks are just kind of looking around like, what is this? But it's
It's
loud
the
and
devil music.
it's the devil music. It's loud, and it's obscuring some of your conversation just a little bit. But as that's happening, you see a couple cloaked figures in very dark cloaks. You see a little bit of under their cloak, as it's loosely tied, that they are wearing the dark leather that you'd seen prior. You don't catch any glimpses of metal being worn, but there's just 2 figures, and you hear them kind of
just
leaning
being
in and-
heard.
yeah, you know. There's 2 figures that are kind of leaning in and talking to one another. And you overhear a little bit of what they're saying. Something about this isn't the stone that we're looking for, and they're discussing about the stone. And one of them points up and then just like makes a few motions as if like they're discussing the stone you guys are investigating too. They don't seem to notice you. They're in the midst of the crowd and the music, and don't seem to care about the group.
Can we see their faces?
Not very well. They're fairly covered. They're wearing hoods, and they're keeping their hood up.
Do we recognize them?
The most you recognize is the bit of dark leather armor that they're wearing. It looks very similar to the ones that you'd seen earlier. And very similar to the man who had burst into your room a few days earlier in the inn when you still had that.
Okay.
Maybe we follow them.
Maybe.
Without the elephant this time?
Do you have another one?
But he's ready. He's ready if need be.
Good. Always need a good elephant.
Trumpet is at the ready.
Isn't he
I'm-
stuck?
I'm imagining that Jared has a collection of all of his character sheets, and he's just renamed this one to the Elephant Tamer. And all of his notes are just within that directory there.
You'll never know.
I'll never know.
Of all the characters, this one's name is probably the most normal. That's for sure. So, sneaky follow? All right.
Sneaky follow.
I'd like to stealth.
Yes.
All right.
We're gonna Assassin's Creed follow them through the crowd,
Nobody
Blend,
notices.
blending in with groups
Push.
of nuns.
Push, pray.
Gentle shove.
Gentle shove. Push wrong button, accidentally throw child.
Nuns.
Why are you gonna jump in the
Group of
river?
whores. Like it's just like awesome.
God,
For-
that
for
first
no-
game was so horrible to control.
For no reason, start jumping onto barrels and climbing on the side of the building.
What do you mean? Oh, I assassinated
Magic.
that. Oh.
Well, so you start to follow the group as they move. Whoever wishes to roll stealth to sneak behind them closely, feel free to and let me know. For those of you who don't roll, you can either let me know if you want to hang back even further or if you're just gonna walk and hope they don't see you.
I got a 10. Was not great.
So with advantage because you're invisible.
Oh, I forgot about the advantage.
I got a 3.
I also always assume you're just like if you're trying to be sneaky, you just go just like cover up.
22.
22.
19.
So Corey and Lily are hidden,
25.
and then Eljor, what was yours?
25?
25. You're hidden, and then Fizz just is like slapping her little kobold feet on the ground and dancing around and bumping into people. She's grooving to the music. Like she kind of ducks a little bit as she's doing it, but she's just like throwing her hands up in the air and accidentally punches a guy, and you hear, "Hey, watch it!" And like she is causing all sorts of a scene with that 3 on her stealth. The men kind of look around a bit, but they don't notice the group as a whole. They just notice a kobold doing some silly dancing and goofing, seemingly just kind of wandering around through the crowds. So they keep an eye on Fizz for a moment, but then they continue forward and try not to laugh as she punches another person unintentionally, just dancing to the music and trying to blend in that way. Doing what she saw the kids doing with their bouncing around and slamming into one another.
You hear somebody go, "What's the kobold doing?"
What the kobold do? No. Yeah. Memes. Put your favorite one in chat. We'll try and integrate it. As long as it's family-ish friendly. So have fun. All right. So you're all moving through, and they do keep an eye on the kobold as Fizz is out in the older folks groups that aren't dancing and bouncing around. But there's people all over having fun, so it's not too annoying. They know of her presence, but not of the rest of yours. And they make their way around the corner into an alley and start to speak just around the corner where the music is a bit lessened. It's not as harsh and as loud here. There's still some thumping, driving beat behind, and you can overhear a little bit of their speech that they're having. One of them says to the other something along the lines of stealing that stone instead. Will it be enough power? The other one says they're not quite sure what stone is necessary as they couldn't find the one they were sent into the mines for. And that's all you get. But the conversation goes on for a bit, and you see a lot of disagreement between the two as they're like trying to discuss what they want to do next.
I want to walk up behind them
Mhm.
as they're talking, since I was super stealthy,
Okay.
and just go, "Children, huh?"
As you do that, they notice you approach, and as you say, "Children, huh?" They also kind of look over and see the kobold, and she's still dancing, kind of around the corner, and just like looking over her shoulder a little bit, acting very like not like she's following, but not being able to hide it, much like a child would. The guards look at you. Yeah, that one seems to be following us and dancing around and ugh, kids. Oh, that's why I don't like kids, and that's why I didn't decide to work with the kids when I was young. I could have been a teacher, and oh, kids, no, thank you. But oh, yes, kids, and they quickly turn and look away from you as to not bring you too much into their discussion.
No, no, children.
They look back and forth and look at you and kind of glance you up and down just a little bit. So did he send you additional? Are you to replace the
Well,
mishap?
problem is, and I get real close and I say, I may or may not know about the possible whereabouts of it, but hard to say. So I was brought in as an advisor.
One of them puts their hand to a blade at their side. The other pulls out a bag of money. You hear some jingling in the bag, and he opens it up and digs in, pulls out 6 gold pieces. So how much are we supposed to pay you for this information? And he like forcefully
Not
puts
hostility.
6 gold in your hand.
I mean, I said I may or may not. Thought I put enough emphasis. I don't know where it is, and I just hand it back to him. I was, we at least I could help you out.
He reaches back into the bag and pulls out like 6 platinum and tries to put them in your hand.
It's been all about money. I don't, I have enough to live. I'm a man of the wood mostly, so I
Well,
just want to help.
you said may or may not. That's usually speak for.
Oh, no. My memory's a bit wonky.
A bit wonky, and you're attempting to help us.
I'm forgetting
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
You're trying to help us
Help.
with a bad memory. So you're just gonna lead us to the pub? Is that it?
I'm not really a drinker, no. I figure we could maybe go into the mines. I feel like that's a good place to start.
We were just there, but if you have any leads, I guess
Let you know.
I guess we can.
Mom's the word. What a wonderful thing. Children are wonderful. And I just start walking away from them.
As you start walking away, they follow you at a distance. As they took that as you kind of pointing out that you're going to lead them back to the mines for whatever they're looking for.
Okay. Well, my subtext is off today. Oh, man. And I kind of like lean up against something when they get close-ish enough for me to do it and be like, no, I'll just later. If I figure anything out, I'll let you know.
Oh, okay. And they go into the main inn of the city, and as they walk into Lock, Stock, and Barrel's inn and bar, they sit in the front window and have a drink.
Wait, what?
Wait, what? Yeah, the inn's called Lock, Stock, and Barrel's Inn and Bar. This is something that the party starts to notice as an odd thing. As far as you recall, Lock, Stock, and Barrel had a hideout under the inn. They weren't the owners of it, but you look inside and you see a couple goblins standing up on what appears to be stools behind the bar, and they're handing drinks to patrons, and it's a lively bar scene inside.
This is new.
This is new to all of you. Your memory is kind of aligning in some of this.
I mean, I know there were ambitions, but
Wait, if we. And I just pull everyone to the side quietly, and I say, if we got rid of the influence of that stone, is it possible that the bad guys never took up root in the first place? Like, that's why they're these like not amazing. They were like talking
that's
openly
literally
about
what I'm
finding things,
saying.
and
We gotta
yeah, like
find
maybe
out.
we already thwarted it. Is the king himself?
Should
You're
we see
friends
the
with him.
king?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean, you
maybe.
were friends with him, right?
Maybe. I used to be. Might be different now. Could be. There's also the Elven Emissary. I'm friends with her.
Yeah, let's just hope that he still remembers you.
Wait, how do we still have our house?
I'll be honest, it's very
What?
difficult back and forth with what's real and what's new.
I just have this note that says trust you, so whatever you say, I go with.
All right, it's fair, I guess.
Feels a bit dangerous, but I told myself to write it. There's my name right there.
But what about these guys that are following you? What are we doing with them?
Oh no, they're gone now. They're gone now, right?
Yeah,
Jen?
they're sitting in the pub, and it seems like they're waiting for the next step. To the best of your knowledge, Eljor, in your dealings, the way that they had signaled where they'll be is they went and sat at the pub with the inn above. That you would assume that that's probably where they're staying for you to look them up later.
Okay.
So like they kind of
Pub
made
with
a
an inn above instead of a room with a view.
yeah. I guess if that's what you want to call it. But so the inn sits above the pub. Lock, Stock, and Barrels own the whole place, which was once, to your knowledge, the Stumble On Inn. It looks very much the same. The sign has changed. The interior is a little different. But the way they were looking at you and kind of went into the pub makes you assume, for the best of your dealings, that they are staying there for you to come back to get them when you're ready. And they sit in the front window and give you a nod as you all kind of pass by, and they don't end up following you.
They were fine.
I guess, yeah. Let's head to the palace.
Yeah.
Don't sound very sure.
We'll
There was a
see what
story?
happens. Worst they could say is, no, you can't come in, right? I guess worst they
Yeah,
would do is
Right.
imprison
exactly.
you and put you in a dungeon, maybe murder you. But
Yeah.
we'll see. Keep your
I think we'll
hands
be
where we
okay.
can
We
see
will.
them.
Good thing is I have an invisible one, and you get like an invisible wet willy.
That's disgusting. Keep,
Oh, it's just
keep
not.
that
It's
to
not real
yourself.
water.
It's still disgusting. Don't like it.
Fair.
Uh, through the town, trying to make notes of what is different and what has not changed.
Yeah, for the most part, as you go through town, little things are different. Some signs on shops are different. A few shops are out of order. One big change that you notice is the fancy inn that was back around the corner where your elven emissary stayed is actually just a stable at this point. So there's a change that sticks out to all of you as well. And you make your way back through town to the kingdom. And as you get to the castle, you notice that there were bright lights and gems floating around it in the past, but now there aren't as many bright things on the castle. Like the castle isn't part of the magical experience that's happening in the Festival of Lights. And even more so as you walk into the castle grounds, what once was fields of trees and fruit bearing plants and bushes is now very dry, uh, just like broken up land. Like it's nothing special. It's actually quite ugly and untaken care of. You get to the front of the castle, and as you get there, there's one guard standing there, and he recognizes Corrigan and looks up at him and goes, or looks up at them and goes, "Ah, Corrigan, you're back to spend time with the king, I see. Um, and your friends, are they all right?"
Yes, why they're wonderful. I believe the king's met Eldor here previously. I want my friends to know all of my friends. That's all it is.
Well, they may enter, and it's if they cause any trouble, straight to the dungeons.
Hear that, Fizz? Straight to the dungeons.
Hear that, Fizz? Straight to the dungeon. And as you all walk in, including the figure that is a changed version of the king, the one Nathan Andrzejczyk changed, fun. All of you walk in, and the man that's extra to your group looks around. He goes, "It seems they've not taken care of the kingdom very well." And inside the castle, it's a bit more worn. Some of the tapestries are hanging off the wall instead of hanging like nicely on the wall. Bits and pieces torn, and it's livable, but in a more decrepit state. And the king is sitting in his throne at the end of the hall and shouts out, "Ah, my dear friend Corrigan! Yes, it seems you brought friends on this special occasion. I will order more food." And as he stands up, he's more thin and more frail. His eyes are kind of almost sunken in a little bit. His skin is very pale. And he's got almost like a staining of black on his mouth and chin and coming from his nose, as if the instance or two you saw of the black goo has been a constant thing for many years now.
Just for reference, Dungeon Master, we have
Mhm.
the brother with us right now.
Yes, you have the brother with. He's in a disguised form.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so the king is off a little bit. You can tell it's him, but he's definitely much more worse for the wear than you recall him to be.
Are you feeling all right, sire? You look. Pardon me for saying so. You look a bit emaciated.
None more
And-
than yesterday or the day before. And he reaches down at the side of the throne and picks up a very small shrivelly fruit, nothing that looks super appetizing, bites into it, and just kind of tosses the remainder of the fruit and just chews very open-mouthed, like he doesn't care at all. And he's like, there'll be more food in the banquet hall. Just come on in, enjoy yourselves, enjoy a drink." And the banquet hall, as most of you had been through, I believe. No, Lily and Fizz didn't make it through the banquet hall, did you?
Well,
Yeah,
sort
that was just
of,
me and-
because we went into the room where we had to go through it, right? To get to the room.
You might have caught a glimpse of it, but yeah, I think so. You might have seen bits and pieces of it, but the banquet hall was far less inviting now. The table has kind of nicks and gashes in it, as if it was more like used as a pub setup, like a bar brawl or two had happened in here. The chairs are beat up. but not in a very polished state. The hand servants come in and they put food on the table, and it looks appetizing and good, but nowhere near like the copious amounts that the king had in the prior meeting. And he sits down and kind of tears at some meat with a bite and throws more food across the floor, just uncaringly. Enjoy, eat up. What is it that brings you and your friends on this occasion, Sir Corrigan?
Oh, we're just out and having a fun day in the city, and I thought it might behoove us to come and check on how you're doing. Have the doctors seen to you in a while, sir? You
Oh,
just seem very, very deflated today.
daily. They see to me daily, and it's annoying, and they're always here. But nothing has changed. My health is as good as it can be, and we carry on. But having fun during this wretched festival. Ugh, why?
It's
Why
the
don't you like the
of
festival?
Lights.
It's been just a blemish on this town for many years, and should be done away with. What's to celebrate about these magical gems that we no longer can mine, and it doesn't bring us much money each year, and every year we go more and more, uh, I guess, over the top, and we have less and less attendance that, well, a few shops have had to close out, and we've had to make some changes to make ends meet. But the people love the festival, so the show must go on, I guess.
Surely it brings in a decent amount of people around that will pay to be a part of it.
Yes, but not to the riches that I wish to be swimming in.
True. Your people are happy, which makes you a good king.
Well, sir, friend of, I guess, well, friend of Corrigan, I don't quite recall. I believe I've met you before. You look familiar.
I get that a lot. Thank you.
And-
But it is good to meet you.
You can tell that he looks at you and almost has a moment where, as the rest of you have noticed things throughout town that have changed, he tries to recall who you are as if he's seen you before. You do recall meeting him, however, because you were there a few days prior, or the day prior, I believe, with enjoying some time with Corrigan and the king.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, you know, hello, forts and all. So it was a couple days prior. But yeah, so you see a moment where he thinks about it and then just shakes his head and then looks kind of grumpily at the group. Well, if you're quite finished trying to ask me about things and my health, I'm fine, and enjoy your food and leave when you're ready. And he gets up and walks out a door without saying much more to you all. That's kind of at the back of the hall, and slams it behind him, and all is quiet for the moment.
So that's
That
new.
sucks now, right?
Yeah. What? All right.
He
It's not
seems
even trying to
depressed.
hide the. I think you kept the power source away from them.
Yeah, maybe not having the thing earlier didn't let it get out, so it's consuming him from the inside.
Yeah, it was
Or-
feeding off of the. And now that it's where is it?
I
They
mean,
can't
in
feed.
theory, he's related to someone, and I turn and look at the guy with us. I mean, like, so I don't know. What are thoughts on the matter?
The man with you is just staring down at the table, and he looks up with a very puzzled and distraught look. This isn't my castle, and this being is a shell of my brother at best. Whatever's consuming him is pure evil.
I'm not really a cleric, so I can't exactly exhume that from his body. But you know, you get once.
We're kind of at an impasse here. What's our steps? I don't. This is for smarter men than I.
I can't hear you.
Sorry. If the evil that's inside of him is the evil that's eating from the stone, then I imagine we should probably destroy the stone.
Maybe?
But we can't really touch the stone.
Oh, is
And I
it?
figure, I recall we tried to
That-
do that. We tried to break it before.
The
Did we?
one thing that you had gained knowledge about was only the finest metals can affect the stone. So like the finest forged pickaxe or blade would be the one that could even do any sort of damage to it.
That's right.
So
What
we
is the
need to.
finest blade I've ever seen, Dungeon Master?
One of the finest blades you've ever seen was there was a small blade of adamantite that you'd seen on a rogue a handful of years ago who claimed that they could cut through anything, that they were able to cut through metal doors with enough effort, just with this small blade alone. So to you, that was the most powerful. The finest crafted was actually a dwarven blade that was forged out of 712 layers, finely folded one over the other, much like a Japanese knife or blade has been very similar. It took many, many, many years to make some of these blades, and you actually have an understanding that there was a forge here at one point. This region had one of the three bladesmiths of note. So, to the best of your knowledge, there may be a blade or two in town. So that would be the finest made blade. The adamantite blade was the strongest blade that you can recall.
But the Sword of Memories looks like one of the. Is it a contender for something that would probably be one of the more finely crafted?
The magical blade that you had gained earlier
Out in
on.
the castle.
Yeah, it seems like it could be. You've spent a decent amount of time with it. That it is one of the finer blades that you've been able to wield yourself.
Well, I think, like a power source is always connected to some sort of energy or life force, especially ones of great note, right?
Yeah.
What if, and I go over to Fizz and I say, close your bag up real tight.
Close your bag up real tight. Oh no.
And I just go, what if we destroy his sentience? If he doesn't exist anymore, it stands to reason that the parts of his body that have been severed away will go away as he does. Then, no more power source, no more evil, and hopefully whatever's inside of that king finally starves out.
I don't know, because all the rocks seem to be functioning independently.
Yeah.
Like when they were
I think they
separated
do.
off of him.
Yeah. I don't know enough about magic rocks to be sure, but it seems as though they may be drawing their power from him. He's still,
Is that something I would be able
sentient
to
living
know?
inside of a rock.
Yeah, surely he would have said something if he was the source
Yes,
of
he
it.
totally would have told us how to kill him.
Kill me and you survive.
It'll be fine.
Right?
Good job.
You could always ask.
Let me see my.
Would I? Is that
I don't
something
have
I
a
would
good
know?
arcana.
Probably no more than a hunch, if at all.
There's nothing I can roll to see, like.
To know if you've got a sentience in a stone that's powering other stones.
A lot.
Remember,
Probably not. I know you've got a lot of magical abilities there, but this is a deep ask.
What if we just go to a blacksmith in the fancy part of town and just get a really nice pickaxe
Adamantine.
or whatever's higher than whatever, the best we can afford, and then we go and we try to break the thing.
I like
I
that.
know where it is,
Okay.
We
but
come with you.
yeah, whatever, that's fine. If we break the thing, things will be fixed, right? Or at least they won't get
Hopefully.
worse. They won't deteriorate further.
I
Right.
hope so.
But I don't know, because if we touch the stone, we go back in time. So it's an adventure.
Oh, use the glove.
Wait a minute.
Glove.
Those
Yeah, you can hold
those
it. It's gloves.
gentlemen in the cave or in the mine said they had some sort of metal or mesh bag or something, some chains for it.
a metal net.
Yeah, that's what they said.
There you go.
So we need to get a metal
We
net.
get a metal net made. An
But I-
adamantine
The finest
pickaxe
metals.
of the highest quality. Yes.
So we need a metal net and we need a pickaxe.
Lovely.
And then we've got to sneak back down into the cave with an elephant. Oh no, the elephant's gone by now.
With an elephant.
And blow it up.
Okay.
Don't blow up the elephant. What are you talking about?
The elephant's
no,
not
no,
even
no.
here anymore.
Stone.
Went away after an hour.
Stone. Like he just hang
Could
out
bring
in that
trumpet
mine for a while and just went, about that time. Bloop. It's just gone.
Poor elephant just hanging there.
Is that
just whatever?
I'm with you.
is that our
I'll give all
plan
my
now?
coin for that.
What was
I'm
it?
not bored.
Coin, yes.
I'm here for
Coin,
it.
that's a thing that I definitely have some of.
Money?
Yeah, remember I sold all the wine to buy this house. Or to buy the house. That's where all my money went to the
yeah.
house.
I
I guess I could sell the house to buy the
No, no,
I
no.
don't, I
think
don't
we need
really
that.
have much money.
Maybe- We can work something out. Let's go. Let's get a quote before we decide we can't afford it.
Let's go get a quote, and then we'll
So
double
we
check
millennials
that.
house shopping. Let's go.
Metal net, adamantine pickaxe of the highest quality. How much we looking at? We can pool our resources, and if we need to figure something out, we will. Maybe we have enough. I don't know.
Don't we have a magic ladder or rope or something that we could use?
Yeah,
Did
what
we
do you
get
need?
that?
Hmm.
Yeah, I have the rope.
No, I thought we
so-
gave it to them. Oh, you do.
Yeah, we still have it.
You do?
It's in my bag. I don't remember what was magical. It stands on
Altering
its
power?
own. Right?
Yeah, it's a rope that like you just throw up in the air and it latches onto almost nothing. Yeah.
Good to know.
Sweet.
Like if you fell
Altering
down that
power.
abyss.
I like it. Got by an elephant. Idiot.
So are you continuing banter on the way to the blacksmith, or are you still hanging out in the castle?
I mean, I think on the way.
I'd like to go
right?
there.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you continue this banter and you get to the castle, or you get out of the castle and you get to the blacksmith, the smith shop is about to close for the evening, as far as you can tell. There's one young lad in there cleaning up shop, and he greets you. Oh, hey, welcome in. We got a few pieces. I can't do any repairs tonight. I'm just I'm not allowed to use the furnace. I haven't been trained. I fear I would scorch myself again. And he holds his arm up, and he's got a bandage spot across most of his forearm. And he looks around. He goes, "Are you interested in buying some stuff or getting things on repair for tomorrow? What can I do for you?"
We'd like to get a quote.
What now? I don't think we make
A quote.
An
Don't-
estimate?
The kid's jaw drops, and he looks around. And he goes, "Oh, you wanna know how much an order will be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be
What do we-
simple. Nothing
what-
too insane.
What are we ordering?"
Metal net, adamantine pickaxe. Nothing crazy.
The broom in his hands just like drops to the floor, and the kid's jaw drops. An adamantine. I don't even know if I've seen that stuff before. I mean, we probably
Live in
have
a
some of
town
that.
that's ruled by the sale of magical gems, and you've never seen adamantine before?
Well, it's supposed to be super precious, and it must be locked up if we have it. Oh, let me go find the keys. I'll see if I've got anything in the back. And he hustles inside a door deeper in the shop, and you hear it slam, and you hear a couple bolts kind of lock on it. And you hear some keys jingling around, and after a moment, you hear a large like of like a big vault or something being opened within. And you hear some rustling around, some clinking and clanging, and he eventually you hear kind of like a shutting of some of that. He opens the door, probably about 90 to 100 seconds later, so almost 2-ish minutes go by, and you're just kind of out there waiting. And he comes out, and in his hands he's got a couple small hand picks and a larger pickaxe. And he looks at him. He goes, "Well, these are all adamantine tipped. I do have a sword and a small dagger back there, but this is what you wanted. You wanted like cutting tools, not like slicey stabby tools, right?" Okay, well, I've got these here. I don't have any metal nets. The few that we actually had, some of the meshing, that got sold this morning. Like, we had 5 or 6 of them that have been here for years, and they all sold out. So I don't.
Do you remember who you sold them to?
Oh yeah, strange group of guys. They came in wearing all like dark leather, and then they bought some armor, and they put like a couple pieces of metal on their leather, which was kind of strange. You know, like, why not buy a whole kit? They dropped seriously like a few hundred gold here on all this stuff. I think they even got a platinum of like just weaponry and gear fixes. And well, my father, who owns the shop, he did all this, and he kind of starts walking around the room talking, and the kid outlines like a bunch of like work on their leather armor, and some like craftsmanship on a few extra blades. Like, the kid is completely baffled by how 4 men had so much weaponry on them. And he finally like stops telling you this story about all the things that they did, and he walks forward and goes, "Oh, well, I probably should have said it was a group that came in and ordered this morning, but I can't tell you because, well, they're a client, and some people
Privacy,
buy blades to
Well,
go stab people with, but I
Your
shouldn't."
secret's safe with us.
Okay, good. Please don't tell my dad.
I don't even know who your dad is. So
Whew, okay, sweet.
Safe.
Well,
Bad.
Dad's the blacksmith.
he knows. Okay, well, as long as you don't tell him that I told you all this stuff, it was sold this morning. And he looks around the group, and he's like, "Well, for your troubles, there's a marking on this that says they're 500 gold each, but I'll pretend that I only saw 50." if you want any of these pickaxes and things.
Oh, that's kind of you.
You can see
I
this kid
can-
is like visibly sweating. Like he is so nervous that he's gonna get in so much trouble. And he's just trying to like pass something under the table to you by cutting the price drastically.
Guys,
I mean, I don't have 50 gold, but I think we should.
I
go
don't
there
either.
and get it.
I've got 15.
Got 13.
I have
That-
6.
15,
15, 15, 13, and 6. So you're at like
45.
49.
I bet we could get him down to 49.
How much silver do you guys have?
I don't
One.
want
One.
no
One.
silver.
I have. Oh, there's no way. That's actually we have 49 gold and 6 silver. We're 4 silver short. Shut up.
The best part though is I didn't look at your sheets at all to plan that, so it was
I
this
know.
arbitrary number.
What if
How much copper do you all have?
none coppers?
No
No.
scoppers.
I've also got a
Oh,
ton
wait.
of
Those
fey
coppers-
wines.
Wait, you guys. I don't have a silver. I have an electrum. Mabi.
Wait,
Is 5 silver.
5 silver.
Well, that'll do it.
Because remember, I just looked. I was looking at the picture, but it's not silver. It's electrum because electrum gave us like 5
Yeah.
electrum.
Well, Electrum's
Yeah.
2 to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Use
2 Electrums,
per
1
gold.
gold.
So I
Yeah.
have.
That's baller. So
So you guys have enough.
I'm gonna.
We're
We
gonna
do.
have like 3
Barely.
I'm gonna
copper.
take
when we're
all my
done,
gold
but
out.
yeah.
So are your guys' silver actually electrum as well?
No, mine's silver.
Yes, I have 2 electrum. Yeah.
So between all of you, you pool just enough, and you're sitting on like you each might have an electrum or a silver piece to your name, if you're lucky.
That's 1 copper.
1 copper.
What I've got.
You can ride the pony at the grocery store with that.
Put it inside.
Oh man. Well, the young
Memories.
man just watches, and his eyes bulge out of his head as he sees all of you like scrambling and counting and doing a bunch of accounting, and he watches the whole thing, and he kind of grins at all of you. Yeah, I think that looks like it's enough. I would offer you more things, but it doesn't seem like you got any more money. And he like pulls the rest of the pickaxes back. So you've got 1 large pickaxe and 1 like hand axe for that 50 gold that you managed to barely scrape by. I mean, at least you got some magical items still you can sell if you need.
Yeah.
Do we?
What magic
I mean,
items?
I mean,
I have a cloak.
so at
End-
this
end
point,
of
What
list.
sort of memories? That is
At-
a relic of my elven people. I would never sell it.
at this point, we have 1 more episode in this season. Next season, our party is just going to be sitting on a street corner. We'll slay dragons for gold. They're going to be like adventurers.
But we
just
haven't
desperate.
even had
Timelines
a
for gold.
combat in 9 episodes. We haven't had a
Yeah,
combat.
you've talked your way around it. We'll confuse a dragon to death for gold. We'll talk a dragon's head off.
We'll bore
We'll
your
talk your head off
enemies.
for 10 gold.
Do you want me to stop talking? I'll take 10 gold.
Bring your bully to us. We'll bore them.
I feel
So-
attacked right now.
No. I'm not attacking anyone specifically because I can.
No, I'm being-
You guys talk your way out of it. Boom.
I want to see if we can get through the whole season with no comp
I-
because that's
It's like what's
that's
that?
a
What's
trophy.
that,
That's
that
like
game?
the 1% achievement.
Undertale. It's like it's Undertale when you do the non-violent playthrough in Undertale. Ugh, apparently it's so satisfying.
All right. New thing to add to my list.
It's very good.
Oh man. Well, I try. it's not without trying. I do have an encounter always set up, at least one, and I don't set up any more before my session because I know that if I can't at
Don't
least
need
get
it.
my one planned. Yeah, so the young man waves you off as you walk out with your hand axe and your pickaxe, and you are short a metal mesh or a metal net, but you know that there was at least 4 or 5 sold on top of other things. The young man, to recount what he was going over, didn't say anything more about adamantine or fine blades that were purchased, other than just like armaments for the group. So this group has a metal net, or multiple, and you guys have the destruction tools. What is it you do next as you exit on this evening and hear another band playing quite loudly? This one sounds a bit more familiar in tone. You hear a minstrel singing in the back about some hero that slayed many dragons.
Do
Classic.
you guys think we should try to go back down tonight? Like if there's enough people on the street to distract it, or should we go down in the early morning hours?
Well, I mean, is it concerning
I mean-
that all the metal nets and stuff have been sold?
I mean, that's only if we have to move it. But we don't really have
Yeah.
to move it.
But also that gem hand thing. I thought there was some feasibility in moving it with a gem glove. Am I crazy?
Oh, I don't have the glove. I don't know. I think Sarah has the glove.
Well, he has it, yeah.
Do I?
Yes,
Yeah.
you say that every time.
We had
too.
this conversation last
every
week, yep.
time.
Do I?
Every
Yeah,
time.
you do.
Glove?
Oh my gosh.
What?
You have a glove, and on the back of it there were 3 gemstones and a missing gem, and I believe you've placed a gem in that slot.
It's the Infinity Gauntlet.
It's the Bumfinity Gauntlet. It's not a full-on snap your fingers, kill your enemies, but it'll do something, I guess.
You can pick up a
Wand of
rock.
Wonder. The Glove of Wonder.
The Glove of Wonder.
I vote we just get this done.
Well, I mean, those guys are waiting for us in the tavern. That, the universal signal was given for them to just wait for more information from me. They took it, so they're sticking around. They won't be down in the mines, feasibly. They said they've
But-
already checked it, so that means they
But if
didn't
there were
find it.
if there were several nets sold, that means there's several groups looking for it.
True.
So we need to do it now.
Yeah.
Or when they're sleepy at like 4 in the morning.
I'll be sleepy
sleepy
at
too, though.
4 in the morning.
Well, not if we go to bed now.
Yeah, but
We could just
how
do the-
early are we planning on getting up?
Well, look, the question comes, how many baby elephants do you want me to be able to call to our aid?
Okay.
Because right now it's less
At
than
least 2.
optimal amount of baby elephants.
I mean,
Oh, you
can-
need.
If I had a nap, I could call more baby elephants as needed.
Got it.
If I
Makes
had a
sense.
nap, I would dream about baby elephants.
Well,
Ow.
that sounds like win-win across the board.
Yeah, let's
But
go
I-
get a good night's rest. Wake up early. Like, early. No?
Yeah.
like at the earliest point
Ugh.
that you can possibly summon more baby elephants, right?
Exactly.
Hmm.
The man with you looks at the group and he goes, "That sounds about favorable." And you see him kind of like rippling a little bit under his cloak.
I keep forgetting that you're here, dude.
Yeah. Oh God, who said that?
I'm struggling to keep this form, and he grows a little taller in height.
Yeah.
Oh, let's get back now. Let's head on back. Put that hood way up.
As you make your way back to the home that you have the streets are fairly busy still. It's in the early evening, around 9 or 10 o'clock. So it's still going to be party central for another hour or two easily for the evening. It's not as loud back in this part of the town where your home is. You just hear a faint sound of music in the background, and you're able to make it inside and prepare and plan for the day ahead as needed.
Are we doing a long rest or a short rest?
A long one.
A
Like a
long
sleepy
one.
sleeps.
A sleep it sleeps. So everyone hit your long rest button, and
It's the campfire, right? Where is that? Oh,
Top
there
right
it is.
usually. Yeah.
The long
It's
rest.
the moon. Never mind.
Bone ten.
And once you have all clicked your
Bone ten.
long rest mountain, what?
Bone ten. Bone ten. That sounds like that's what it sounded like Sarah said.
Oh my gosh.
Bone ten.
So as soon as you've all clicked the long rest button, and I click this mute button over here, no, the sun comes up, kind of. It's still quite early in the morning, and you hear a little bit of bustling about in the streets as shops are starting to open, because it would be roughly about 6 a.m. for all of you to get your well-restedness. Eljor, with your ability to half that time, you've already smelled the bakeries cooking for a couple hours, the sweet breads and whatnot coming up the street, because there is a cafe just down the road, as you recall.
But he has no money.
Yeah, you all are basically
life covered.
broke, and you have rations in your bag most likely, unless you've eaten through all of them. So then you're basically broke and hungry, but you own a building. So
We've got good berries. One
Are
good
buildings the
berry is a
same?
meal for a day.
Oh, that reminded me.
Wait, what?
Building same?
I know I have to roll a thing.
No, you own a building.
Yeah, we own.
You own a building, but you have no money.
Corrigan owns the building.
Yeah, is the building the
again-
same as it was before? Are
Yeah,
there any
the building.
changes?
Oh yeah. The building is the same. Much like it was before. As you go downstairs through the main area that was the shop, some of the ware on the floor is in a different pattern, as if maybe the shelves were twisted in one reality versus another. But that's the only thing you noticed. It was still a small seamstress shop or sewing shop of some sort. An artisan had owned it, and you do see like circles in the front which indicate like they had wooden mannequins or things to show off their wares, not their underwears. Their wares.
Their wares.
Their wares.
Underwear.
Their clothing. Their fashions.
out under there.
No.
I just made you say underwear.
You guys, that song is like 40 years old.
Oh yeah,
I
Yeah.
it's great.
actually said that though. The first time I heard it, I distinctly remember hearing it as like a 9-year-old kid and hearing that and going, underwear? And then he goes, I just made you say underwear. And I was like, he's in my brain. Just
Every small child that hears that song for the first time, every single one.
true.
It's what happens when you're Canadian. Yeah, are we
Goddamn.
going? Yeah, we eat some good
Goodbye.
berries because they're free.
You eat some free
Yep.
good berries, all right?
I have lots of elixirs if anyone needs one.
Biz is just making her
That's
her
how I know
elixirs
how
daily.
many days we've been here. Because I haven't
I
used
think
any
this
of
is
them.
4.
Well, 1, 2. I have 5 elixirs, so
Yeah, basically.
5 days.
Yeah. Biz is just looking at all of her filled vials in
I
her bag.
literally almost have one of each. Like,
And that's her way of counting the days you've been in Crystal Keep. All right. As you make your way towards the mine, your stomach's full, and your heart's happy because of the one good berry you each were able to eat. The
Willy Wonka stuff there.
your friend stays behind, and he looks at you all as you go out and kind of says, I can't keep the ruse as it was a challenge yesterday.
I
I
have
need
a
to practice
potion.
that. You have a potion
Yeah.
for what?
Oh, but it only lasts 10 minutes.
No, that's
It's
fine.
transformation, but it
That's
only
fine.
lasts 2 minutes.
Leave him here. I don't want him with us when we do.
Stay here.
Stay here. She says, I have a potion, but not. So he waves you off and closes the door behind. And you are off to the mines. And as you get to the mines, it's pretty quiet. There's a few people passing by. There's still a few signs up that say the mines are temporarily closed for tours. And you are able to make your way past them without much notice.
I wonder if our cart is unbroken.
Wonder if your cart is unbroken, eh? Well,
Where did we leave it?
At the
bottom of the
bottom,
cave.
broken into smithereens.
Oh, that cart.
that
I don't
cart-
think
She's
I don't think
thinking
it
of
works
the
that
like mimic cart
The
thing.
spider cart.
there is a spider cart that you had at one point.
yeah.
I think it's at the inn.
Yeah. Or behind the inn.
It was
That
back
mean-
behind the inn by Lock, Stock, and Barrel's hideout last you were aware of. Is that
Okay.
something you wish to go retrieve, or
It might be useful because
It can climb down the
functionality to attach
wall.
to the climb down the wall, or even like attach to the tracks, maybe.
Let's go get it. On our way over there.
Oh, gotta be in frame. Yeah.
yeah? So as you go
Yeah.
over there and you go down the little alleyway back behind Lock, Stock, and Barrel's inn and pub, the door and entryway to their little hideout is all boarded up, and it's kind of all dirty and untaken care of back there, as if they hadn't been using that path for a handful of years. But off to the side, amongst some of the refuse, you do notice the cart is sitting there, and it wobbles a little bit as if it's just kind of standing in place, and just kind of like moving its feet just a little bit out of boredom. And as you get closer, it takes just a light movement out as if to hopefully get noticed. And it's
cart.
worn. The cart is a bit more in rough shape than before, as if it's almost been left here for a handful of years, and not taken care of. Inside the cart, there's a few bags of broken tools and some broken items that look like they were either once magical or potentially belonged in the vault of very not so sturdy magical items that you gotten your first gifts from. And some of them are just kind of all bent out of shape, but there's one box in the bottom as you're lifting stuff out that has a few rings in it, and each of the rings is much larger than like a human-sized finger. They look like they could fit on an orc or even like a small giant form, but they're all in pristine condition. And there's
Can I wear it
there's-
as a bracelet?
Can you wear it as a bracelet?
Yeah.
Yeah, as you pick up one of the rings and start to put it over your hand, it actually quickly sizes down right to a ring form that would fit on any of your fingers. And like as you are able to try it on each of your fingers, it does grow and shrink a little bit, that it fits perfectly over the knuckle and sits comfortably. They're all of a very, very like deep silver color. And as you grab that one and size it up, the rest of the party does see that. And that was the last little container in the cart. Do any of you
That's
each grab a
always you.
ring, or?
I mean, can I do like an arcana on said ring?
Yeah, you can do an arcana on
Kinda.
said ring.
Figure out what's happening before people just kind of put it on.
Just before you all just like, I'm just popping some bling on.
What's
Okay,
wrong
cool.
Oh,
with
man, that's
that?
great. Let's put it
Like,
on.
look at this. This is
I
Go
put
on!
3 of them on. I rolled a natural 1. I put them all on.
Corey goes up and is like, I'm gonna
Very.
take a look, and just like sticks their hand right in, just fingers first, and a couple rings just fit right onto their fingers. Corey, you almost feel as if when you have multiple rings on, you are hearing your thoughts in like a loop in the back of your head. So when you're thinking something like, "Whoa, this is weird," as they all size down, you hear, "Whoa, this is weird. Whoa, this is weird. Whoa, this is weird." Kind of like an echo loop as it goes through. But Lily, as you've got one ring on, you hear in the back of your head Corey going, "Whoa, this is weird. Whoa, this is weird. Whoa, this is weird," in like a very echo reaction. Eljor, as you have the ring on too, you notice that you hear Corey speaking to you in the back of your mind. Fizz, did you
I try to
attempt?
speak back.
As you try to speak back, the rest of you hear whatever Eljor says. Whoever's wearing a ring,
Hello?
you hear in the back of your head, "Hello" from Eljor. You know it's Eljor's voice, but he
Whoa.
doesn't speak it.
I just heard what you said. In my head.
Where else do you hear words?
Fizz, you didn't
In
grab a
my
ring and put
head.
it on yet, did you?
I don't know.
I don't think so. So Corey's got a couple rings. Lily and Eljor are wearing a ring each. But Corey had a few on, and so they were getting like an echo loop of everything that was thought and said.
Mhm.
Now, when you think in the back of your head like you're saying something, it's heard in the others' minds that are wearing the rings near you. But when you're just thinking thoughts and like observing, those don't seemingly go to one another. So it's moments where you're like strongly exclaiming, like if when you're in traffic and someone cuts you off, and in the back of your mind you're just like, "Oh, I hate that." Those are the type of things that go through versus like, "Oh, there's a car that cut in front of me." So it's deliberate thoughts that cross through these rings.
Wow.
I'll shake
And
off all
out
but
loud-
one.
I was about to say maybe just one. I love your voice, but not that much.
That was intense. I'll be honest. Maybe
So-
I'll keep one for later.
So
fun.
all three of you have a ring on, except all four of you would have rings on. Fizz, if you grabbed one, then you are hearing their voices too.
But isn't Corey wearing two?
Corey has left one in the box. There were 5 rings in the box. So there's one in the box.
What does it look like?
It's a very deep silver color. So it's got a nice silver sheen on the outside, but it almost has like a blackness undertone, the way it reflects and holds the light. It's very nondescript, just kind of a very smooth ring that fits to your finger. But as each of you put it on, it seems to gain an initial, which is the first letter of each of your names. Depending on how many you have, you see those initials lightly scrawled upon it.
Do they all look the same?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Oh,
They're very much identical.
all right.
All right. So you each have a magical ring that allows you to hear one another's thoughts. You have your spider cart back, and then I think Corey's got the spare thought sharing ring.
Can we
Just
work
in
together
case.
to do a little bit of work to fix this guy up? I feel bad.
Yeah.
I have
Just like
mending, I
clean
think.
him up.
I don't know that that'll do anything.
Mending would allow you to do a few things, especially if you're trying to reattach bits and pieces or reattach something new. You could do some mending on there.
All right, I'll do that.
So after a few minutes, you're able to clean up the cart and polish off a few of the metal furnishings on it, fix a couple of the cracks in the wood, and the cart looks in much better shape. And you see all of the
Give me a little pat.
You give him a little pat. You see all of the little legs underneath kind of moving to keep the balance. And much like a cart would normally sit upright on two wheels, it's kind of like tilting back and forth as it's just keeping its balance and holding itself in place because it's on a bunch of little legs underneath. And as it moves, it makes a very faint tink, 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 tink as the metal legs move along. Um, it is following you at this point as you have kind of given it ownership. And it is about the same size as the cart that you had ridden down before. So you may take that to the mines if you wish, or leave it along. What do we do, party?
Do we still want to take him with us?
Well, yeah, because he was gonna climb the walls for us, right?
Yeah.
Eldor,
What's that,
sir,
Eldor?
You're speaking into the void.
I think we definitely need him.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Let's bring him.
So
Let's
with
head
that,
down to the mines.
yeah, with that, you're able to bring this cart over to the mines. And as I had said before, it's fairly quiet on this side. So you're able to make your way into the mine with little to no notice. Other than a few people kind of look at you for dragging around a mine cart, but then they see you going into the mines and kind of brush it off as if maybe you're going in to fix one of the mine carts or replace one for the museum portion. And you get inside, and there's still some stuff strewn about from the kerfuffles that had happened the last couple times you've been through the mines, or the last time you've been through the mines. And at the top where the minecart track starts, there is no minecart. There's still wood splinters from the boards that were holding the minecart previously, as those had gotten thrown up into the ceiling and exploded, but no minecart sits at the top. The cart that you have with you seems like it could fit on the rails if you wish to do that, or if you wish to walk it all the way down, up to you.
Let's go ahead and walk it all the way down.
Or we put it on the wheels and ride it.
Oh yeah, that would be faster.
Can he
Like
stop
last time.
himself? Can he slow himself down? I'm gonna just like, how did we communicate with this thing before?
It was
Wait a
you had a
minute!
rope attached to it.
Wait a minute! It's got like little spider legs, right?
It does.
Yeah.
Does one of those little spider legs go inside one of these rings?
I mean, if you reach down and try and put a ring on it,
It
you
recesses, right?
Yeah.
Got a fifth.
Let's see what happens.
So as you reach down and you set the ring underneath one of the little spider legs in it, the leg steps into it. The ring just kind of clips onto the very end and just becomes like a tiny little addition near the end of this spider leg, to the point where it's not super visible unless you're looking for it. In the back of your minds, you hear, "Okay, what are we doing?"
It's so cute.
Who said that?
I did.
Who's I? And the cart actually turns around in a circle as if it's looking for something.
I'm like waving at it. That's
You're.
me.
I can hear you.
Oh my gosh.
What are we doing?
Can
We're getting on the
attach
rails.
yourself to the tracks?
Hey, party. Mine carts.
Yeah.
And he runs over and
Yeah.
hops onto the tracks, and you see all of the legs kind of latch on, as if this,
Mine cart.
if it was created to be there. Hey, party. Mine.
We're
Oh.
going.
I'm gonna go
Let's
over
hop
and
in.
hop in. I'm gonna say, in my head, I'm gonna say, don't move, no matter how hard I push you, okay?
Okay.
And I'm just gonna try and push. Can he break and hold himself in place on this thing?
Roll a strength for me, please.
Okay. I'm very, very, very strong. I got a 2.
A 2. You give it your all and you push, The cart doesn't budge.
I think we're good.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see what happens.
I swear I just saw Fizz push the cart herself. Did you push the cart, Fizz?
I I try to push the cart.
Did you roll and they saw a roll go through?
Yes.
What is Fizz's roll?
Sometimes I roll just for the hell of it, and so he saw that.
Fizz, what is your roll?
It's a 14.
14. So out of like nowhere, Fizz walks up and looks around and gives like a sly shove to see it. Like she throws her shoulder into it, and the cart doesn't move at all. And she seems to be okay with herself. Eldor, you do notice this out of the corner of your eye that she like throws a shoulder in as you're pushing, and then she just kind of like walks away like nothing happened. Digital dice.
Curious, that one. Yeah. I think we're good. I think this will be able to stop at the bottom, hopefully, instead of blow up.
Or at least could
That
bring us
will
back
be
up.
nice.
Oh, you can bring us up as well. Didn't even think of that.
I hate stairs.
Smart.
Yeah, one way to find out.
Like when people look at you, like a bunch of people.
Well, I hate that too.
So are you all piling into the cart?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So are we all sitting? Hang on. My mind is picturing this.
Is it
The cart
safe?
is like this on the wall, right?
No, it's clasped
That's
onto the
in-
rails.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Never mind. Yeah.
So you're all chilling in the cart, ready to go down the rails again.
Yeah.
And as you're all inside the cart,
Whee!
you hear, please keep all heads, hands, arms, legs, and other appendages within the cart. Enjoy your ride.
My mind goes, oh my gosh, wee!
I was gonna have the cart scream out "wee" as it was going down,
Oh my gosh,
but not
wee.
anymore. It
You
wasn't that
do
kind
it.
of wee. It was just gonna be wee. So the cart.
Why not anymore?
Well, not
He's like,
anymore.
"She
The-
ruined
the cart
it."
went silent because someone played my joke before I could. No. So the cart starts moving forward, and you do hear wee as you go down,
Oh,
and you
Oh my God,
recall
wee.
you recall that there were points that it was
Wee.
going really, really quickly and just continued to gain speed, and you felt
Wee.
near liftoff on the first cart that was just on the wheels. This one, you feel like a bit of slow momentum on certain spots to keep you all from getting launched out of the cart. And at one point, you hit a curve and bank around to the last stretch. And you could have sworn, aside from the clinking and clanking of the cart going down the rails, you might have heard, oh, that was close in the back of your heads. And as you get down towards the bottom with the smashed cart up ahead, you come slowing down to a stop, and in the back of your head you hear, well, he didn't hit the brakes.
Oh.
The cart like unclips from the rails and then walks off the rails and then comes to a stop and lets you all exit just next to where you had smashed the other cart previously.
It's not like we did it on purpose.
We did.
Not like you did. We did. As you think that,
We
the
don't-
cart goes, you killed that one? Wow.
Yes, we'll stay in
I mean,
line.
he couldn't think.
Just stay in line. He's threatening a cart.
Well, better him than me. Carry on, friends.
Carry on my wayward friend.
Let's do it.
Awesome.
Uh,
So, I
Corey.
mean, first off, do we see anybody?
It's
Like-
quiet down here at this point. You don't see anybody. You don't hear any noises at the moment, other than some echoes that seem to be coming from outside and the party goers kicking off the morning with like some cheering and whatnot throughout town. And just kind of faint echoes coming through the entrance, but not anything emanating from below.
All right, Cardigan. Where's the stone?
It's in the room over there.
The one we were
Window.
in?
Yeah, with the table.
With-
It's in there.
Where?
What?
Uh,
We were there.
I hit it. I hit it real well. See if you could find it.
Tell us where it is.
Okay. I'm just gonna go excited to try and find this.
As you all move excitedly in, the first room seems to have been like pulled apart and walls shattered in a bit. Some of the tubing that you had noticed that seemed to be like the receiving room was all ripped out of the wall as if someone was looking behind all of the tubes there and did some major damage to this room. The next room, the one that you are intending to go into, has very little damage, some chips in a few of the walls, but it seems like whoever had ransacked that first room gave up or didn't find what they wanted in this one. So you're in that room that Corey has led you to. Fizz, I interrupted you. Was there something you were going to look for or do?
I was gonna say, like, if you don't know specifically where it is, I can try to find it with
I know
magic.
exactly where it is.
Then get it out, man. Come on.
I just want to see if you can find it. I want to know if I hit it well enough.
You hear, is it this? And a very small stone is kind of lifted out from under the cart. Is it this? And another small stone comes out. And you hear like 7 or 8 times. And on like the 8th time, it's a very, very, very like tiny red fragment of a gem.
I mean, he found a gem. That's pretty impressive for a cart.
And I'm gonna
Um,
perceive as well, if I can.
I want to do a perception check to see where I would point. Is that okay?
A perception check?
Or what should I do? Tell me.
I can perceive?
It's behind a wall somewhere. So the best of your knowledge, you could investigate.
We do know it's behind a wall. Could we just
I-
like knock on the walls, see if we hear
I mean,
anything hollow?
if it's in that room, it would be behind something or under something.
I got a nat 20 on investigation with my +6 modifier. That's a 20.
Fizz, you might notice that on the floor where there was a burn mark from the table, you see some scratches that look like some powerful claws had scratched it. And then you do notice on the wall that where the gem is at, that a couple of the stones are not perfectly fit together in place. So ever so slightly off. But you do also notice that there's scorches across the room and a couple like pickaxe marks in each of the walls and the floor, like, as if someone had tried to crack
I'm gonna
open.
point at the stones that don't fit. There.
There, Fizz turns her gaze to the wall that Corey had pulled all of the bits and pieces out, threw the gem behind, and then quickly refashioned it as close as possible. But there was just a slight gapping in some of the stonework. Corey, so Fizz pointing at the wall that you know that it's behind.
I'll cast Mold Earth again and open it up to reveal it hiding back in there.
Yeah, it indeed is hidden back in this hole that Corey made in the wall. So it's sunk into some of the dirt and stone bits in this wall. But it doesn't come pulling out with the dirt.
The mark is still there.
The stone is still there, yeah. There's now a mess on the floor in front of where it's at.
Don't feel Cardigan. It's not that you hit it badly. I'm just not good.
Just that good. Wow.
So we should destroy it now, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. You think
Get
you
it?
can make a bunch of earth, like pull a bunch of that with that trick, but just like over the entrance? So if somebody does come down here, they'll be like, "Oh my
Nope.
god, a wall of dirt."
May take a while, but it's not a lot of dirt I can move. It takes time and bits and pieces.
It's what, 5 cubic feet?
Yeah, something like that.
So it's a little bit.
I can set a trap or a snare.
I can hide.
I can hide. I
Do
can
it.
move things.
Get to breaking it, the strong people.
Yeah.
Who's strong?
You.
So we have a hand axe and we have a full-on pickaxe.
And it's still
Elj-
in the hole in the wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Eljor, it is your size, the full-on pickaxe. It would be too much for Lily or Fizz to swing, and definitely too much for Corey to swing.
To be fair, a full-on pickaxe
all
is too
stronger
much
than
for
me,
me to swing.
They're bigger than I am, and they're stronger than I am. I'm just
You just
Oh,
have the size.
I'm tall. It doesn't mean I'm strong.
Well, it's your
What-
size, but probably not your weight then. So I guess it's
I can
whoever
try and swing it.
whoever
I-
tries the hand.
I can take a try
Axe.
with the hand one then.
I think we're all equally weak.
So
I'm looking
somebody's
at the
gonna have
stats
to
as they
help.
in our
rotate
group.
through.
So
Yeah.
is this a ghost moment where you come behind Eljor and you like help him swing the axe? Just
So far, I'm literally just looking at the stats as they rotate through, and I can say that Lily, Eljor, and Corey have the same strength as does Fizz.
as does Fizz. You're all -1. So
We're
this
all
is a help.
negative
This is a help moment.
So we are a smart party. We're just really not strong.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's-
well I guess I'll swing it then because I'm just as strong as everyone else. Tied for first strongest.
Well,
in the
hold on, I
group.
might be able to use tools as a gorilla. I have to look
I
it
see
up.
it's correct.
Okay, I'll update him. Let me know. You might be able to use tools as a gorilla, yes, if you wish to try.
I just don't know how big a gorilla is, or I mean, how strong it is.
Probably stronger than -9.
That's true.
Or -1. Yeah.
You could be
Gorilla.
an elephant and step on it.
Giant ape, not gorilla. Sorry.
Sweet.
Yeah, I could do it. Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Gorilla does it.
I turned into a giant ape.
A giant ape. As you turn into a giant
And you
ape,
pickaxe.
you get the pickaxe, and it's just like a small hand tool to you here. Because I believe a giant ape is what, a large size.
Right.
It is, yeah. Well, it's huge, but I can only do large. So
Okay, so you like stand shoulders up to the ceiling. You're kind of crouched down, so this full on axe is like a small hand tool for you, and you've got a little bit of space to kind of like with your forearm clink down on the thing. But I'll give you a help bonus because you've got friends that are squished up against you at this point, and also a advantage bonus because you've got the tool and the strength. So you get a +5 to whatever you get a advantage roll on.
all right. So
And if that fails, then the mine explodes, and this is the end of the party.
I gotta figure out how to. Here we go. Here's my.
All down to this.
No pressure.
We hide in the cart.
You all hide in the cart.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not.
Because
kidding.
it's way out another room.
Yeah, he's the only one that gets out.
Hold on. I put the wrong thing.
The Adventures of Cardi.
Cardi B. Oh no! I just now only imagine our cart with the voice of Cardi B.
Oh no! Oh no!
All right.
No,
So
the best part is that Jared now has to do that voice.
No, I don't have to do that.
Oh, crap!
I don't have to do that.
Okay.
You just
And if this guy dies, oh, so that Cardi B insinuates the existence of Cardi A. So we must have had another cart die.
you murdered Cart A.
Cardi A was the one that crashed.
Nope,
You
it's
murdered
wrong.
And
Cardi
this is
A.
Cardi B.
Yeah.
Now this is Cardi B.
Oh jeez. The
Alright.
cart goes running off into the abyss on its own.
All
And you
right.
hear, "You can't take me alive."
One was 17,
Okay.
and then the advantage roll was 26.
26. So you lay into this stone, and as you hit it, the tip of the pickaxe goes into the stone without any sound, and it splits in half. And Glenn, you're gonna be muted. For those of you who missed
Sarah's
it,
face.
awesome. But for those of you who heard it, awesome. So you split the stone in half with zero sound, but a full, nearly blinding light occurs. And as that blinding light hits, you hear a few screams in like the chasm below, out in the main hall, and some of them sound more like death wails or screams, like the last of life. And then you hear a bit of a rumble and a thud and a clutter of like falling, potentially rocks or other large heavy items. And in the back of your minds you hear, what did you do? There's stones falling and screaming.
We should
We should
probably
go.
leave.
Hop in the bag. It'll be less weight in the
gem
cart.
still glowing at
The
all?
gem, no, the gem has
Okay.
zero glow to it, and it actually seems to be turning into a dust after it had broken and released whatever magical power in it.
I'm
I
outta
want to turn back into Corrigan, my
Mm-hmm.
normal form, and mold earth again to plug the hole like we
Okay.
were never here.
There it is. As you plug the hole and you head out to the main room, you notice that the sounds have stopped. There's some rubble all over on the floors. The cart is standing there, teetering a bit more, almost in an anxiousness, and like hovering up from the middle of the abyss. There's a very 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 light form of what seems to be like a warrior type, someone clad in armor, a long flowing cape on their back. The cape is tattered, the armor's all battered and bent in. The eyes that you can see on the helmetless figure are pure black, and it lets out kind of a hiss and a whisper. 299 dead, but one remains. And then it launches itself up out of the mine, and from what you could tell, flies out the door.
That was new.
In the cart.
Can
In the
the
cart.
is the cart sort of mimic like does it have a mouth? Can it drink a potion?
From what you can tell, there is no mouth, no. But you do
What
know
would help though
working.
is if you two jumped inside your bag, you flew, and then he carries me. We go up quick and quick. I drop you out, and then we see what's going on.
I didn't fully.
Eldor just
I'm
I hop in
quickly
the cart and then just tell him to go because I'm not waiting.
Eldor quickly blurted out, "Jump into the bag," and then he'll hold on to it, hide in the cart, and there's only really one body in the cart, and then it seems that
Hop in the cart and wait.
our fairy friend can fly out. what-
Okay, so I hop in the cart and hop in my bag. Don't drop me.
I'll get in my bag. I'll get in the
I
bag.
promise.
So Lily and Fizz are in the white room
We
with the
got
plant
them, buddy,
and
and I
everything.
tie it up. Just kidding.
We got
Just-
them.
Just now's your chance into the abyss with them.
But I'm hearing it and I'm like, you mother.
You know what?
There's-
Seal the bag with wax or something. We're good. Now let's go live in the palace with the king.
But as you thought all that out and you were like kind of shouting it to the group, the cart rushes over and latches onto the rails. And in the back of everyone's mind who's close enough here, you hear, "Hold on for dear life. I'm not making any promises." And Eldro, you get thrown back in the cart and it makes its way up the same path at epic speeds. It gets to that curve and you feel the cart lift on one side and clamp back down, and you hear, "Whoa, that was even closer." And at this point, Corey, you don't seem to hear the cart or the thoughts of the rest of the group as you're flying straight up. So there seems to be a distance that, when you've split from the rings, doesn't allow the rings to work. And then you all make it up to the top, and the grouping of all of your back of your heads, as you've gotten close to Corey, you hear, "That was fun. Let's not do that again." And as you walk out of the mine and look across town, you hear some oohs and ahs, and you get a glimpse of the castle. And the tallest tower of the castle has a bright blue light shooting straight out the top of it, to the point where it looks like that light blasted through the ceiling of the castle, and the rooftop is kind of shattered on that tower. And this is where we're gonna leave it. There's something that has happened in the castle, and doesn't look good. Yeah, so as a reminder, for those of you who just heard or did not hear fully, the one spirit creature thing had said 299 dead, but one remains, and then flew off. So we'll be back in 2 weeks, and that will be the arc finale here. I know we just came back, but we might take a short break as we get the next arc in line. So what you will most likely see is we'll be playing. Let me look at my calendar here so I can give you dates.
29?
So we'll be playing on the 29th as our next episode. And because we've been on first and third Saturdays, what that will mean is, instead of playing on the 5th, we're going to be off that week. We will let you know if we'll be back on the 12th and 26th, or if we'll be back on the 19th, which is the third week of February. Stay in touch with us through our Discord and through our Instagram, and you will get to see a bit more as to what the next arc has. But until then, see you in 2 weeks. Take a look at our podcasts to catch up. And thank you all for tuning in. Happy New Year, everybody. We're so happy to be back. And who are we rating tonight, Sir Ahoy?
I don't know. I'm working on it.
Oh, Sir Ahoy is working on it. So with all of that, hang tight for just a second as we go raid somebody. As a reminder, we always raid at the end of our shows where we can, because you've shared some love and excitement here. We like to share the love to other streamers and say hi. If for nothing else, just say that we've got Cardi B as our friend, and there we go. Thanks, party. Now I've got to listen to like Cardi B interviews to give you what you really truly want. So
What we really, really want.
What you really, really, really want. Yeah, I guess maybe we'll get more baby elephants next time too. It'll be a
That
full-on
and dog
circus.
squeak.
I hear dog
Dog
squeaks
squeak.
back there. Happy dog squeaks.
Lots of dog squeaks.
Lots of
Phoenix
dog
sounds
squeaks.
happy.
And this is a squeaky dog right here.
The other one's down here reverse sneezing like nonstop. So
All right,
Oh.
we're going. We're going. I push the button.
Push the button.
Things will happen.
Off we
Bye,
go.
guys.
bye guys.
See you
See you
soon.
soon.
I'm gonna go to our video and
M-I-C.
party on.